August 31st, 2016, and I am joined here by Twerk17 and BoredGamer. What's going on, guys? How are you?
Hey.
Una momento. Now you're unmuted.
I was like, see the mute icon, I'm about to talk.
Yeah, always muted, this guy. Always muted.
Better that.
Why don't we start with what you've been up to this week, and yeah, all that other fun stuff. So let's start with it, Twerk17.
Not a lot of gaming, so I guess I'll tell my little life story today. So on Friday I was dealing poker and I got like a little lightheaded, and I was like, all right, whatever, this happens sometimes. So I'm just like, breathe that in through my nose, out through my mouth, just keep doing my thing. And then about a minute later, my chest tightened up and it went all the way down my left arm. And I'm like, well, I'm dying. Fuck my life. So nice. I like yelled for a dealer to come over. And I was like, he owes him $2,000. That's it. The hand's over. And I get up and leave the table and go drink some water. And I'm like fucking shaking and freaking out because obviously something weird happened and I don't know what was going on.
Right.
I go to the first aid at work. They like put the shit on my chest and they're like, your heart rate's all over the place. And I'm like, okay. And they didn't say that it was anything serious, but they kind of like were like leaning me towards going to the hospital. So I went.
Right.
And they just kept me there for like 4 hours and then discharged me and said nothing's wrong. So
I mean, do you think it's all the crystal meth you do?
Probably.
Why?
So then I go to my own
man.
doctor. He thinks it's more serious. So I'm going to a cardiologist and all this other bullshit. So freaking out about that. Then my car broke down a little bit today. So the reason we're late is because I had to go get a rental car and they picked me up super late to go get the rental car.
Not that that would have made
just had my friend drop me off, but I didn't. So
that wouldn't have made us that late though, Twerk, because I did say that I was going to be late as well. So
yeah,
it just made me look better.
Yeah, so really. Like,
and I wanted to stream before, anyways, before and after because I'm obviously going to PAX tomorrow. So. Yeah. It all
I
worked
actually
out.
like broke down on stream this morning because just things are fucking falling all on top of me. Like I literally just started tearing up
everything.
Just everything. Just like, and then obviously everybody's awesome. You stream, you talk to everybody, and like I had a great time and wanted to keep streaming, but I had to end early today to take care of all this bullshit. Because of all this shit, I like forgot to pay my mortgage. So today's the last day of the month. So I like ran over there and wrote a check. So yeah, and now I have. It's a pretty sweet rental car. It's an American car, but it's actually really nice. I think they're starting to make American cars like nice now. I don't know. So yeah. I've never had an American car or driven one, so it's kind of nice.
Well, I'm definitely glad to hear you're okay.
For now, okay.
For now.
We're trying to figure out what the fuck happened because we don't know.
So the way that British people show concern is by taking the piss. So I genuinely am concerned. You know, I was chatting to you. I'm not a heartless monster. I'm just a monster.
No. Yeah, I know.
He's just a monster.
No, me and Bord talked a lot about it. So
yeah.
So still trying to figure out what's going on. Trying to drink more water because I know I didn't drink much that day, and then I had an espresso.
Right. Well, that could have been one of the things, right? Is it could have just been a dehydration thing, which it has been crazy hot lately and whatever. So hopefully that was it, and you just had some weird things happen and.
Yeah, and the doctor that I went to is like really, really thorough. So that's the reason I think I'm going to a cardiologist. I don't think
so.
He thinks it's like super bad. So we'll see.
I've had issues before with my health, like worries about my health, and every time I've gone to the doctor, like, oh my god, I've got testicular cancer. Oh my god, I got
SARS.
I've problems with my heart. Like a couple of times I've convinced I've had problems with my heart. I go to the doctor. He goes, "You're fine. You're fine. You hurt yourself doing this. You strained yourself. You're getting older. So hopefully, Twerk, it's just hypochondria, and you're getting old. But obviously, good job for taking care of your physical health and going to see a doctor. Because a lot of people, they'd have your experience.
I didn't want to. I had to fight. The massage girl was holding me by the back of my pants and pulling me to the first aid place. I was like, "No, I'll be fine."
Good. People need to sort their physical health out more, as well as their mental health. It's all really important stuff you should go and see the doctor about. So I'm glad that you have.
Yeah.
We're going to. Good man.
So there you go.
So we'll see what happens. Now I'm lots of money. It's gone. It's gone.
Yeah.
But it's better.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear. I'm glad that you're alive and kicking. Because I didn't know about any of this stuff, right? I got a message from you being like, my car's fucked. I thought I'm dying, like whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, did he get into a car accident? What's going on? Am I even talking to him right now? Like, I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, just getting all that stuff cleared up. Yeah, it's all good, man. It's just,
I kind of like didn't go to work for the rest of the week and just lied in bed and watched Jessica Jones, which was fucking
great
awesome.
series.
I haven't seen that.
Great series.
Fucking awesome. And on top of that, I have like a huge crush on her. She's super hot.
Narcos season 2 starts on Friday, and they confirmed.
Was Narcos good?
Narcos
is that
really
the next
good.
show I should watch?
Yeah, I really liked it. And Stranger Things confirmed their season 2 2017 today.
Awesome. Yeah, today.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah, so excited.
That's the way you do a season, though. You do a season with a storyline that you kind of finish off at the end, and then you can allude to more.
Well, the thing is, it just opens up that whole world to what it was. So there's lots they can do with that. So hopefully they do, and that would be really cool. And they have like each season is like a new story within the thing. Maybe that's how they're doing it. I have no idea how they're doing it.
No cliffhangers. Ooh.
But I'm excited. I am excited. Yeah. So what about yourself, Bored? What have you been up to?
So I'm recovering from I-58, which was that game festival I went to.
How was that?
It was it was really good. I got very drunk. There was Star Citizen meet up there on the Saturday, which Cameron and Disco came down to.
Mm-hmm. I saw the tweets.
And yeah, that was really cool because we got to talk to them proper candidly, and they it was really, really quite fun. And then everyone else went off to the like pub quiz, and I was able to just like poke Cameron and Disco for like, tell me this. We can't tell you this, but tell me.
Tell me.
But it was it was really enjoyable to see them, and it was really enjoyable to see all the other the citizens that were there, and everyone's so nice in the community. And I just I tried to buy everyone drinks. No one would let me buy them drinks. People were offering me drinks. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
How drunk were you?
So
on a scale of 1 to
on a scale of 1 to I don't remember.
On a scale of 1 to 1, how drunk were you?
So a 12. On that scale. So between the Thursday and the Saturday morning, I was really plastered, like really drunk, and I didn't sleep between on the Friday to Saturday night. So I'd gone to the Star Citizen meet up with like. I've been up for 39 hours or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just on Red Bull.
This thing? Are you supposed to stay awake? It's called Insomnia 58, right?
So it's the
big
bar's
LAN
open
party,
24 hours.
Isn't it?
And you can play. You bring your own computer.
It's just a LAN, right?
It's a LAN, but it's also got a gaming expo attached to it.
Okay.
And the gaming expo is pretty big now. Although it's very commercialized, so it's sort of like come in and buy everything.
Yeah.
Which I don't like so much.
Cool.
And it was just the Harambe meme everywhere.
Oh my God, I'm so sick of that shit.
Dicks out for Harambe. Now, I don't
even know what that means. Are we just like I think we were talking about this earlier, Bored. Are we just old and I don't even know what it means?
Dicks out for Harambe.
The memes are just they're above me now.
Troika is now below the memes.
I don't understand the need to do it constantly though. It's just a constant dicks out for Harambe every second. And, I don't know. Maybe we're just old. Yeah, maybe we're just old.
Yeah, I'm old. That's just what it is. You know what? I'm gonna Google "dicks out for Harambe." What does it mean?
What is the deeper meaning?
What does dicks?
So basically, this is what happened. I'll tell you the story for it. Okay, so Harambe was the gorilla that got shot at a zoo over the whatever, and then it was a comedian that made a joke about.
There's an out of the loop Reddit. Perfect for me.
There you go. It'll tell you right there. And then so basically I think it was a comedian that made a joke about it, and then it just sort of went crazy. Like he was like he was just like it's like pour a 40 for my homies. It was just like dicks out for fucking Harambe, and then it just blew up, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And then the zoo said stop memeing, so we all know what that does. The opposite. So everybody just started memeing even harder with all the memes, and then
Please cease and desist with your meme.
And then, yeah, they ended up taking down their website or something. Like, they took down their own website
I keep
or
seeing
something. Like,
way worse than that
Yeah,
on this thread.
Yeah. Is it Rule 34? Is it?
No, it's something. It's something about glue and no.
But other than do it out for Harambe, getting back on topic, I've now switched over to a 1440p monitor.
Can we
Nice.
Can you
What does
call this
Star
on
Citizen look
YouTube?
like?
By the way, can we call this on YouTube? Redacted podcast dash dicks out for Harambe.
Nope.
Dicks out for Twerk 17.
Yeah.
We're gonna pay for your car. We're
Bring
gonna pay
those
for
dicks
hospital
out,
bills.
boys.
Dicks
Yeah.
out for
Take
Twerk
them out.
17.
Yeah.
But 1440p. So all my videos from now on are going to be done in 1440p on the YouTubes, which means that the 1080p one, you can still switch it to 1080p, and it will have a higher bit rate, so you'll be able to watch it in higher quality. Is the idea? It's a 144 hertz monitor, which is technically 165 hertz monitor, which I've got up to 180 hertz now.
So you've overclocked it a little bit.
I've overclocked it a little bit,
Yeah.
and I was going to go for G-Sync, but I was messing around. And I was reading loads of stuff, and G-Sync's great, but I don't need it. So, because I'm running at such a high refresh rate, and I'm running overdrive and low latency on it, and I don't get screen tearing. I don't need G-Sync. And the issue with G-Sync is I would have probably still had it, but it can cause stuttering in recordings. So
It fucks up recordings, and I think even on Twitch, like people don't see the smoothness.
OBS doesn't like it sometimes, which is annoying, obviously.
Like they'll see all the tearing, but you don't see it.
But so I've noticed something though, and I'm not sure if it's 2.5 thing. I'm getting higher frame rates at 1440p. So either it's a 2.5 thing, or they've got better servers, or there's a issue with Star Citizen when the CPU and GPU communicate to each other. So that
that's probably what the issue is.
Because I'm getting significantly higher frame rates.
So you get higher frame rates with 1440p than you do with 1080?
Yes.
So,
true 1440p.
Okay, so maybe I'll try
That's
doing
super weird.
1440 and downscaling it. It might
getting
work
it down.
better. Yeah.
I'll do a video on it.
The frames haven't been bad. They've been playable.
No, I've been getting like 30. But...
Yeah.
I've just had really good frames, and I've been recording in the mini PU at near 60 for an hour or two today.
Yeah.
Because it's saying 60 on the recording, and it doesn't look like it goes down. Normally it's pretty accurate.
BoredGamer, look at me.
Yeah, like there's been a couple times where I've jumped on at 60 frames a second, and Grim Hex at 60 is pretty nice.
But yeah, so other than that, I've been picking Twerk's brain about streaming because I'm thinking of streaming every Tuesday, starting from next Tuesday at 12 p.m. UTC, or whatever. Stealing Twerk's slot. Thanks, Twerk. You're the best.
I don't know what time that is. UTC.
I don't know what time
It's
that
whenever
is
you
either.
stream, basically. I'm
Oh,
stealing
he's
I'm
gonna
vampiring
steal
your
views.
Tuesday slot. mate.
CEST, it's 12 p.m.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Brain.
so there he goes. He basically is wanting to do dual streams with you until all of your viewers go over to him.
Oh my god, that's even better idea.
Well, it's my day off, so I might stop in and say
Oh,
hello.
Twerk, you're having to go
it
to the
is your
doctor
day
again
off.
today because you're ill. It's okay, I'll look after your viewers.
I like how his eyes slightly go the opposite direction when he laughs like that.
I'm gonna find that vampire emote and put it in the chat again.
no.
Let me see if I can
Yeah.
find it.
But other than that, I've been doing some bits and bobs on the website. So I'm gonna every ship over the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be making a ship buyer's guide for, which I will link. Will I get banned from your chat if I try and link this?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, cool, let's
Are
do it
you
anyway.
sub? Oh no, you're good.
Awesome.
It's the redacted.tv. Yeah, no, redacted is fine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's good. It's good to know.
I got you.
So,
There it is.
so that doesn't look pretty. I'm going to try and prettify them all at some point. But if people can give me feedback on the information that's there, and if they wanted other information or other sections, that sort of stuff, please tell me. That would really help us. Because we want to get a catalogue of all the ships, all the items, all the weapons, all that sort of stuff, and have it nice and informative, but also appealing for people to look at.
Right.
But other than that, I'm just going to get a load of videos done over the next few weeks, like Citizen Con predictions and speculation. I've just been writing like scripts for them.
Right on.
And enjoying 1440p. 1440p is so good. Oh, there was one other thing I've been doing. Playing 7 Days to Die a lot.
That
Yeah.
game looks fun.
I haven't played that. That was the first game I've ever kickstarted.
It's
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I didn't even know it was on Kickstarter.
It was shit back in the day, but it's got so pretty and there's so much more depth. It's like all the other survival games kind of plonked into one with loads more depth.
Yeah. It's still in like beta or something, right? Like alpha or...
I have it, so Clifford actually, like I was watching Geek Domo play and I was like, this game looks really fun, and then Clifford was just like, here, have 7 days to die. I'm like, God damn it, Clifford, I don't know if I'll have time to play this.
I'd like you to join us sometime. I mean, you'll see some familiar places.
Not you, Saurus, though. We're gonna burn you at the stake.
God, please, yeah. Anyone's more than welcome to join us. But it'll be quite candid for speech, so don't expect me to be particularly. I'll be very sweary. It's quite a spooky game. But every 7 days, a big horde of zombies spawns. It's much more PvE than the other ones, and it's hard.
It's good.
Hard.
Yeah, it's more of working together.
Cool.
In groups.
Yeah, it's really quite enjoyable. But it's really.
But every time I've watched other people play it
anymore.
Oh no, that's Rust.
Right?
Rust is very PvP.
It's not.
Right?
It used to be like Minecrafty, like blocky, but it's not anymore, right?
It's voxel based, so you can dig anywhere. You can dig under the ground if you want to. You can knock down buildings. So if you knock down the foundation of a building, it will collapse.
Yeah.
Which is
there's like physics and stuff and all of that other fun stuff for that.
We created a whirlpool by accident when we dug in a mine into the sea, and loads of people were crashing, and I was just watching in 1440p, just going, "Oh, this is beautiful." But yeah, sorry, I've been rambling enough about my random gaming. What about you, Source? What you been up to?
So this past week has been pretty eventful for me, both good things and bad things and everything around. So we got the new LED lights came in, like the bulbs or whatever. So I was messing around with that, like, and you can see it in the video that I'm playing right now, where I have like red and blue, and so it looked like I was in Grim Hex and whatever, and that was pretty cool. I want to find a way. I think I'm not gonna be able to do it with these super cheap ones. These ones were only like 10 or 12 bucks each. There are ones that can connect to Wi-Fi, and there's programs that you can connect it to Twitch chat. So like when alerts go off and stuff, they like flash like different colors or whatever. And I mean that would just be cool. kind of neat to play around with and whatever. Did the Nerdy Bartender on Friday again. Got really drunk.
That was fun to watch.
And we basically did it the way that I did an eating stream earlier in the week, and that was where I got everybody to choose the toppings. So what I did for the pizza was I used my viewer queue, and I let people put in a command, and then after the command they could choose a topping for a pizza. So I showed all the toppings on screen, and I was like, guys, put your toppings in, and I'm gonna just choose 3 random ones. And there was some weird shit in there. And so I did that, and that was really well, and it was really fun and whatever. And I want to do another one when I get back from Seattle. But Stacy really liked the idea, and I sort of said, hey, why don't we do something like that with drinks, where we get all vodka and a shit ton of mix, because she has like everything over at her place. So I'm like, why don't we just get all the mix and let, chat pick the mix, and we'll pick like 2 or 3 things. And she'd end up drinking like vodka, absinthe, cranberry juice, and Clamato. Now, Clamato... Oh,
I saw that one.
I don't know if you guys
have... That's tomato, right?
Okay, you guys don't have Clamato juice in the States. Clamato juice is tomato juice and clam juice mixed. Yeah. No, it's really good. Fuck? It's really good. But yeah,
shut up.
Shut up.
Shut your stupid mouth.
Yeah.
Those are like, I don't eat seafood and I don't eat tomatoes.
Oh,
so
right?
that is literally
it's the most
devil in a fucking bottle.
The most disgusting things to you ever. Yeah, so
that is the devil in a bottle.
That was really fun. Then on actually I have some photos here. I can probably show the stream if I pull them up here. I went to Twitch Vancouver. The host came down and stayed here with me, and yeah, one of the things was that everybody was down there, so we had like some Twitch staff there that I hadn't met before. We had a bunch of partnered streamers that I hadn't met before, and was really cool to see. So here's a picture of like where is it? So it's me, Alex, Mike, Stacy, and Rifkin, who's like a StarCraft commentator, pretty big StarCraft commentator. So we had some I'm just looking at these pictures now. Some pretty crazy pictures. Then there's a video of us, of them. Just this is sort of what the event kind of looked like, and it was really fun. Like we had little name tags, little Twitch name tags, like "Hello, my name is whatever," and there were a lot of devs there. So the devs from Fantastic Contraption were there, and a bunch of devs that I know. Just like the whole community, we all know each other in Vancouver, which is really cool, and we all hang out. So, like, just the night before, we went over to one of the devs' place to have, like, a party, and I played Secret Hitler with the creator of Secret Hitler. And, like,
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was, like, super fun, and he's going to be down at PAX and stuff, and I'm going to say right now, one of the best games I've ever played. It's so good. It's so fun.
It's a really fun social game, especially when you're slightly drunk.
It is really, really fun. And then this GIF was appropriate. Yesterday, I'm skipping timelines a little bit, but yesterday I went to knock on my roommate's room to help me with something, and with a beer, I opened his door and the room was empty, and all of his shit was gone. And then I looked in the bathroom and all of his shit out of the bathroom was gone. I looked in the cupboard. He left his food here. He left a Bowflex here, but all of his shit is gone. So that kind of sucks.
You can get in shape.
Yeah, now I can get jacked. I got my bike. I got my Bowflex.
That's the rent paid.
You know,
I can. You got a gym payment.
I'll pay my rent with my sweet fucking lats, bro.
With those fucking guns, dude.
You guys can't see.
I'm not paying my rent this month. All right.
I'm huge. Yeah.
Bam.
Boom! Look at those beefcake arms. Anyways.
Oh, he's brought a gun.
By the way, do you want this Bowflex?
Right. So, anyways, yeah. So that kind of sucked, and puts me in a pretty shitty position. But I did pick up the Benny's machine. So I have some pictures up now. There was actually 2 machines. I wanted to only take one. I thought it was $300 each. It was $300 for both of them. And they both work. They're both fine. The Sody Pop one is worth about $800 to $1,200, and the other one's worth like $1,400 or something like that. So I might try to flip them or something after. But yeah, look at the truck. Like just the back of the truck. The suspension's like completely flat, and they weighed a ton. It took 5 of us to get them out. We loaded them in from like a loading bay. But it was just a nightmare to get them out. Oh, and here's another beautiful picture of me at TwitchCon. But yeah, then I had this Periscope. How many we had like 200 viewers or something on Periscope. It was ridiculous. Of me we're like moving these vending machines out of the back of the truck and like trying to figure everything out.
So maybe this is an evolution of social eating. It's social labor.
Social labor.
Just watch people move things.
Well, that was the
he's
thing.
lifting something.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that was pretty much how it went. But all in all, it was pretty crazy week in general. Just like all kinds of stuff. Everything from good to a shitty. Obviously, the roommate bailing and leaving us with a huge bill. So that kind of sucks.
Thanks, roommate.
Yeah. Thanks, dude. But who knows what happened? I don't know. Maybe he got abducted by aliens. I don't know.
And they took all his stuff.
It's not like I sent him a text, and I'll tell you exactly what. So I was like, it just really was weird because there was nothing ever bad. Like we were never mad at him. We were anything. So I sent him a text and I said, "Everything okay, dude? Saw you moved out. Just hope you're all right." And he never responded. So I'm like, all right, well, I didn't really expect a response from it, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Cruisical, by the way, just like, can you do social Bowflex on stream?
No, you're not allowed to work out. No working out or no photo shoots. But I would.
Ah, that's bullshit.
Just fucking
bullshit.
What's going on, boys? What's going on?
Gonna get fit from bullshit.
$10 more, 10 more reps.
Did they say you can't social flex on stream?
Yeah.
What's up, Twitch? What's up, Twitch staff?
Yeah. Guys, donations for reps. Donations for
10
reps.
more dollars. 10 more reps.
Yeah.
Streaming rips.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, we'll do 2 more if you donate 200.
Pips gives you rips, and then you can basically be benching the Pips machine.
Yeah. Oh god, there's no fucking way, dude. It took 5 of us. The candy machine, like the one that holds chips and stuff, that wasn't too bad. We moved it out of the truck with 3 people. The pop machine, that wasn't happening. That was not happening without 5 people. And even then, it was like when they inevitably need to be moved out of the garage, I'm gonna hire movers for it. It's with like proper equipment and a truck that has the thing that goes down and lifts it up and whatever. Because there's no way that I'm moving that back into the back of a pickup truck.
If we don't hear from you for like a week or two, we'll just tell the police to go to your garage.
Yeah, I've
find
died.
You crushed under
and
a
I've been
pizza
crushed
machine.
by vending machines. Yeah, but I figured out how to program them and everything. I know how you can on the food machine. You can set everything from either free all the way up to $100 an item, and on the pop machine you can put it up to whatever. Yeah. So I was thinking as a joke to put something in there for like $100, like something that's actually $100. But the thing is, it doesn't take bills, so they just have to sit there with shrapnel, like just coins, right, and just pump it full of coins, which would be really funny. But yeah, that's what we've been up to this week. Fun stuff.
It's awesome.
Fun.
Twerk almost died.
Twerk almost died. Yeah.
It's been a good week.
Been a good week. Oh my god.
It just means it's been a good week. It meant I went balls out. It meant I had my dick out for
balls out for Twerk.
Dick's out for Twerk 17.
Yeah. I had my dick out.
Fucking
Fuck
hate
my
that
life,
meme.
man.
I hate that meme so much.
Me too. It's so stupid. Now that I actually know what it is, and I'm not gonna say it on stream, it's the most retarded thing ever. So yeah.
Right. Let's move on before the Harambe meme gets back to me. Damn this.
Somebody just asked, did I get to keep my Star Citizen staff t-shirt? Yes. So now I can like roll around and be like, "What's up?" Yeah, I work for Star Citizen.
Yeah, I'm Shill, mate.
I don't
Streaming Shill.
Yeah, so ATV and RTV this week were a little different because they kind of went back on what we talked about the week before. So it was like one of the first times that they didn't like show anything forward, right? Mm-hmm. Like it was less of what we were working on and more of what we worked on. That was like the first time ever.
Yeah. It was more because they wanted to show us this before, but they can't. They got it
it was pretty cool. I think probably the coolest thing that we heard from it, for me, was that the time that it'll take for them to do these things is relatively short.
Yeah, it's not very long.
I think.
Yeah, and they said 2 weeks, but knowing that it would probably take a week, and 2 weeks is just to be short.
Is like the buffer.
So because when I saw these videos, I was like, God damn it, man. Now everyone's going to expect them to, like, all the missions are going to be mocap. They're all going to look like this. Like, it's never going to be like this.
Yeah.
And now that, like, on RTV, they kind of cleared it up, like, it could possibly be lots of these things. They planned on doing a mocap for just that, right?
Well, they're scheduling another shoot
that and
for
probably
Quest,
other things.
for Quest NPCs for 3.0 is what they said at the moment.
So just to shoot for that is probably lots of different people. So
right,
but those people can just be people from the IT department.
Oh yeah, like the dead guy is literally the IT guy that was at Gamescom that we were hanging out with. He was the guy that when there was no sound on the stream that I ran up to and said, "There's no sound on the stream" when Sandy was talking.
That's awesome. That must be so.
And he was the Frozen guy. Yeah, like it's pretty cool. But no, they need somebody to act that.
Dude, number one.
So it can't just be anybody. It has to be acted.
They have to be able to act it out, or.
But it could be a nobody actor.
Yeah,
you know. It could be like the guy who does the Pez commercial or something.
I don't know. I
could be Twerk 17.
For Twerk 17 commercial.
Some enthusiastic people to just read into the mocap stuff because the actual quest givers.
Chris wouldn't have it, dude. Chris wouldn't have it. You know it.
Fine.
You know Chris wouldn't have not for acting, for face scan, whatever.
I suppose he has.
Yeah, they can look like whatever, but
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, there's aspiring actors everywhere. Just go to LA and there's fucking 38 coffee shops with actors at them, right? So.
I just want to say that I would love to act in your Star Citizen, Chris. Long-term fan.
Come to CitizenCon and tell them that.
Yeah.
Oh man. I think isn't the mocap suite in the UK at the moment, anyway.
Yeah, but Chris will be at CitizenCon.
Nah.
Talking
too
to
busy
his...
for me. Chris is too busy for me.
Just go in and be like,
when I was out there, I didn't talk to Chris.
Really?
I talked to him for like 1 second, and that was it.
You feel
like I just
so
like
busy.
all the people were there and wanted autographs and stuff, and
you
like
feel guilty for taking his time.
I feel guilty because we got plenty while we were out there, right? Things were pretty awesome for us, so I didn't go in line or say anything. I snuck in and talked to Brian Chambers and Todd Pappy a couple times, but I felt more comfortable with them. The other guy, like Chris, I did not feel comfortable around at all. It was really like kind of, that guy's intense, man. I was super uncomfortable around Chris. San Diego I was a little bit more comfortable with, but still, they're like, I don't know, they're a big deal.
They're a big deal, aren't they? And it feels weird. Like
the other guys, like, I don't know, you can relate to them more because they talk to you in the chat sometimes.
Yeah.
But like Chris Roberts never pops in the chat and is like, hey, I really like what you're doing there or whatever, you know? So it's different.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't go in line. I didn't get autographs. I didn't shake hands. I mean, like we shook hands upstairs in like the back room.
Yeah.
But just real quick, and that was it. And I talked to Sandy like maybe a total of 2 minutes, 3 minutes total. And it was more just saying like, hey, this Twitch thing's going really well. Like, rah, rah, rah. Let's keep doing stuff like this. You know, so.
Right on.
But yeah.
So what did you think about the way that they're going to get the NPCs to focus on you? Because at the moment they were like, well, Miles Ekhart was supposed to be a bit sort of like, he was supposed to be a bit like edgy or dodgy. So he was like,
people were like, why isn't he looking at you? And like they like complained about it, right?
But they then
that
said
was purposeful.
Well, yeah, they said it was purposeful, but they're also working on a system.
That like different people will react how you're looking at them. Like if you're not supposed to look directly at some people, or some people, if you're not looking at them, will be like, fine, whatever, I won't talk to you then, and look away or whatever. Yeah, so
they're working on a whole system for them to more naturally focus on your character with like literally trying to collect your eyes.
Yeah, I think that's more in the Subsumption sort of category of things, right? Like where
I feel that it is as well.
Yeah. On how they act and react to not only their environment physically, but their environment on how they're being treated, or how you're responding to them, or how other NPCs or other player characters are responding to them.
So I think this is, and we'll talk about this again in a minute, I think that particular thing where NPCs' eyes meet yours and focus on you and talk to you with gestures, that's going to be incredibly important for VR.
Yes.
You have to have that, otherwise you get the
assuming they put VR into the entirety of the game, which I'm still not convinced they're going to be able to do.
I don't understand it, because isn't there a thing like where you walk, like, okay, this doesn't happen to everybody though, right? Where if you walk but you're not actually moving,
no, it makes people sick. It makes people sick. That's why it's
and I don't see them putting in. They'll never put in that like teleport thing.
No, that's how you have to do it right now, or you need the actual space, and nobody has a space. So what I think is going to happen, and I
in
mean,
the
I
ships
would be okay
you won't
with
get
this,
sick though, right?
Is Arena Commander. Is VR, and that's it. Okay. That makes sense.
Oh, I mean, that could work.
But the other stuff,
I want to play Squadron 42 in VR. I mean, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I don't care about playing the multiplayer game in VR. I want to play Squadron 42.
But how are you going to solve... what I don't understand is how they're not going to solve the movement problem. Because it's walking around and stuff.
Yeah.
An FPS.
Yeah.
It's going to be very difficult if they can do it properly. I suppose the get out clause is to just have it, as you said, in Arena.
Yeah, okay. So, and I see some people saying, oh, they said it's going to be easy because they're implementing it certain ways, like the HUDs and stuff like that. And that is okay. That's not the issue. It's not the issue of the camera or, all of that stuff, or the HUD and stuff. That's all fine. It's the movement. It's the way that you move in VR. You can't be sitting down. Like it's really weird. And unless you've actually done it,
it's not a Star Citizen issue. It's an overall
VR issue.
Yes,
and it's a big VR issue.
They can definitely do it. They can definitely implement that VR, and it can look amazing. But you need to have super high frame rates. You need to have ways of you not feeling sick. They need to make the movement so that you don't feel sick. That is really hard.
Yeah.
So
and the thing that Chris said was, because we don't cheat on like those third-person animations, it'll be really easy to do. That's what they meant by easy.
Yeah, the implementation of it, but not necessarily ironing out the is it gameplay. Because if you put a head-up set on and you just go, or it's like, well, this is weird. No one's what? How do I get into the ship here? I'm not teleporting.
Right.
My room's only so big. How do I move around?
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. There's so many different things that they need to work out.
Yeah.
And because the Vive is reasonably different from the Oculus, and there is a lot to work out for them. Even if it's easy for them to implement, it might not necessarily be easy from a gameplay standpoint to make it work unified wise.
And for it to be
we'll
fun.
have to wait and see.
And these are the reasons why I don't mind that I haven't tried ER or VR or bought VR.
I don't understand why you're so behind the times.
I got an extra room. You can come be an official Canadian. We can move the house to Germany, and we'll be
I
good.
want
I
to
got
live
VR.
in fucking Germany. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I loved it there. Yeah. I really liked it there.
Real castles there, real architecture.
As opposed to
Good
fake
food.
castles and fake
Nice
architecture.
people.
What are you
You've got
trying
like
to say?
Disneyland in America.
I'm not.
Yeah, that's like our only castle, man.
They made of
That's our only
plastic
castle
there.
is Disneyland. That's true.
Even the
I
people are
guess
made
we
of
don't
plastic
have any
here, Bord.
castles.
Like that one. Like that, Jake.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the VR thing in Star Citizen, yeah, I don't know. So the navigation mesh stuff, right? I was just like, what?
Yeah,
When he talked
like
about
the
it
multi-physics
at
grids and in the ship and stuff, and like you can kind of see it, but it's like,
It's nice and simple. It's just the planes of like existence for where the NPCs will move around.
Mm-hmm.
It starts to get cool though.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they had things on the outside of the ship, and so like on RTV, people asked like, was that for you to repair the ship and stuff? And he was like, yeah, pretty much. Like you'll be able to mag boot. Like the NPC will just mag boot on the outside of the ship, and it was like, okay, so this is actually kind of cool. And then they said that they don't need them in between, like one plane to another, like to EVA. But I think that they said that is like one of the kind of issues that they're trying to figure out how to get it to work. Is that 0G? I don't think that's a thing that normally happens with NPCs and just trying to make them feel alive and stuff. So
yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do. Like, how are they gonna have NPCs? Are they just gonna have them like doing spacewalks on their own and coming in and
I
out
think
of
they
gravity
want that for sure. Yeah.
See, that for me, that's the next huge thing that Star Citizen needs, and then it's pretty much just adding the mechanics, and that's getting the AI. That's AI subsumption, getting them working properly, getting them understanding how to move, how to mag boot, and then that game is just adding mechanics and gameplay.
And I don't think that's what people realize. Like this is why 3.0 is so big.
Because it's moving into beta next year.
Yeah, they're getting to the point where all they have to do is add features then. Yeah. Like for so long it's like we've been working on this backend, we've been working on this pipeline, and now it's starting to like feel like it's there. So it's kind of exciting. And we'll talk a bit about it later with like it's taken so long to build this system, but if you think about it,
once it's done,
future systems are going to be much faster.
They can just drop characters in too.
With the what are we calling the Star Citizen engine? Are we calling it the Star Engine or the Star Cry or something like that?
Cry Engine.
No, so okay, so it's
Super
been modified.
PC Master Race Ultra Game Engine for consoles.
But it's 50% modified from the original Cry Engine, and I'm feeling like from Quake 3 to Half-Life to from the Gold Source and it's what's the Quake 3 engine called? Gold Source? No, that's Half-Life engine. But basically, Half-Life was it's incredibly modified Quake 3 engine or Quake engine, and that changed like the entire industry.
It was a game changer.
And I'm feeling, that the Star Citizen engine, that what they've done to CryEngine could become its entirely own engine for licensing for future games that are.
How can that be allowed, though?
I just realized how quite literal game changer meant there.
Yeah.
How
literally a game changer.
How could that be legal if you took their IP, changed it around, even if you changed it more than...
But if you have the license to do
There's no way.
If they've bought the engine...
Yeah, just like Star Citizen bought the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't own Crytek, do they?
No, but they bought the engine to do whatever the fuck they want with. They don't have to give them any royalties.
Maybe they have to literally buy stuff, or they have to go, guys, we're going to
there are ways that they do that in the industry where they'll
I can't see how they wouldn't have to give royalties though,
or do royalties. Sometimes it's just a one-time straight up buy. Sometimes it's you don't have to pay anything. We'll give it to you free, but you give us 10% off the top or whatever. Like there's different things that they figure out that way.
It's more that I'm interested to see if that will be literally, as we've said, a game changer, and other companies will adopt it. Other companies will purchase that, and other.
That'd be awesome.
Because literally, it started and then we had Half-Life, then we had Source, and So I like evolution like that. I like revolution and evolution, and this is a true evolution.
They're certainly doing that. Yeah.
Evolution. I don't know. I don't even know what it is anymore.
Evolution, revolution.
Both.
Evolution.
Yeah, sorry,
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Went a bit off topic there, but so I got.
No, I mean I think it's on topic. I wonder. Yeah, they might sell it. That'd be sweet if they did, because then the money can go towards more Star Citizen awesomeness.
Yeah.
Well, so
modding the engine even more and making it better, right?
You got to remember that they are becoming. They're a company now. CIG are a big studio. We have to look beyond Star Citizen. So they're going to do Star Citizen Squadron 42. They're going to do up to episode 3 of that, and they're going to continue to work on Star Citizen. But I doubt that that's going to be their only IP. They've built a studio with a significant portion of that money that they've been funded, and why not do a load of other stuff? Why not license that game engine? Why not make other IPs? Why not do Star Citizen 2 eventually and that sort of thing? So I think they're in. CIG are in it for the long haul, and they could be a big company like Blizzard one day. Like I think that's what they're trying to aim for anyway.
I think that's definitely what they're trying to do. And from what I understand, for Star Citizen's perspective, this is my understanding of it, is that Star Citizen is basically purchased the ability to use the engine outright and modify it and distribute it how they see fit. So I think there was a big. I remember when we heard about it, that people were like, "Oh, that's a lot of money," because it was like a couple $1 million or something like that. But in the long run of things, because of the amount of changes like they're going to be making and putting into it and everything, it's probably even better for the industry that they're doing that, and then they're able to sell that out and make profit from just the engine itself from other studios.
Okay.
So
yeah,
kind of neat. How neat is that?
It's pretty neat.
You can tell it's a game engine by the way it is.
Yeah.
By the way that it bugs.
Yeah. And now I haven't seen this next topic that we have here. So this is all new to me. So you guys are gonna see I haven't even read ahead. I saw the first thing and I'm like, right. I know I've heard rumblings of this. I haven't. I've just been so crazy with everything else going on with the channel and life and whatever. I completely missed it. So, Twerk, why don't you tell us what this interview was all about, and we'll sort of give our feelings and input on how we interpret it.
Okay, so I actually watched it on stream this morning, and what was cool was when we were at Gamescom, they were running a little late because they wanted to do another run through of the demo to make sure at the big demo day. So they said to the volunteers, hey, why don't you go outside, and especially the streamers, because people might actually know you and want to talk to you, unlike the other volunteers. They don't know anybody, so they don't know them. So we went. They were like, hey, go out there and mingle with the line and keep people like busy because it's going to be a little while. So we go out there, and the first group of people that I talked to were these Italian guys from StarCitizen.it. And some of them actually seemed American, but I guess, I don't know. Maybe they all live in Italy. And they were really, really cool. And I was talking to them about the Star Trek simulator, like the VR thing.
Right.
But
the bridge simulator or whatever?
Yeah, the bridge simulator. And they were really cool. And they were like, you got to go check it out, all this shit. But like, there was a line and I couldn't get in. Whatever. They're really cool guys. So they come out with this video where, I guess because they have the website, they were able to go to the press booth and interview Chris. So they interview him, and they asked him some really good questions. And one of the questions that they first asked was about mods, like like mods and private servers. And what Chris said, and this was really interesting, is since you won't have access to a server like the servers like we're going to have, where they're going to have multiple servers and like thousands of people in one area and all that shit. You're going to be able to mod like an area and have an area. So like almost like a Crusader like area is what he made it seem like. And you can mod that to make it what you want and have your friends play with you in there, and like maybe like a 24-person server.
I think he was also saying that it wouldn't have like a god AI like the one that generates the missions properly. You'd probably have to. It would probably have like a mini one, or you'd have to script everything.
Yeah, it would be like a limited Star Citizen though.
Yeah, but that's what people would want with a modded server. They'd want.
But like, I mean, if it was enough to have a planet and some space stations, right? Like, I immediately think, because I really think this is going to get made, is Star Wars, Death Star, Hoth, or some other planet, or a planet that's multiple, or a planet and its moons and whatever, and then you have some of the Star Wars ships and AI and stuff.
You have Mars attacks.
Yeah.
Do loads around them. You could do your own, basically loads of your own cool stuff. And I'm really looking forward to seeing people mod ships. Like, just I'm hoping that's there, that they just go, yeah, you can make your own ships. We'll just see some total crap. It'll be amazing.
Yeah, so I mean that was like the first thing they talked about, and it's really funny because you can, like, Chris made this face. I just paused, like I was talking about it, and I paused, and it was almost like Chris was like, "Fuck, man, why did I ever say yes to mods?" And he made this face, and I linked it to you, Saurus.
Yeah,
but
can you put a link in the podcast
doc?
No, in the doc.
In the doc, yes. Yeah. And it was like the feels bad man emote for Chris. It was so good. So I asked some of the guys to cut it out and put it in like emote form. I'm not gonna make the emote because I have to ask Chris if I can ever use it. And how the fuck do you ask Chris? But it was the perfect. It was the perfect.
You ask him at CitizenCon.
I'll ask him at CitizenCon. It is literally feels Chris man. It's so good, or feels Roberts man, or something like that. It's so funny.
Let's zoom in so you can see
it was just like better. He was just like, fuck my life.
That is I love that emote. I love that so much.
It could tell that he was just like, damn, man.
He made that face a lot during that interview. It was great.
But then moving on, they went on to talk about planets. And one of the things that they talked about was that he talked about, and like people were like saying this to me throughout the week, and I guess this interview has been out for a while, and I was like, shut up, guys. It's just Chris talking, and Chris likes to say what he'd like to do, and it might not actually be a release type thing. But dude, this really seems like he wants it for release. Like, really seems like he wants it for release. And it's because they know how to make these planets, and it's pretty easy for them, that you can potentially make your own little base on planets and like shield them in. And
we don't know exactly how that will work. That could be taking over bases. That could be little additions that you might be able to do to a pre-existing base. We don't know how that would work. He did also talk about that base maybe being cloaked in a moment of Chris Space madness.
Fuck that. Please don't. Like, I went on after this, I paused the video, and I opened up Ultima Online, and I streamed Ultima Online for like 30 minutes this morning. And I went through and showed people, like, okay, here's this city, and there's actually houses that are within the town walls that you can buy, and there's like, there's a whole economy with these houses, and like, imagine having a house close to Terra.
Yeah,
I think Board's internet went out. Board's dead. Oh, there he goes.
I'm good.
That was the best face. It froze.
You froze with a feels Chris emote.
It feels baked, man.
It looks a little. Oh my god! Can someone please put a spliff in that hand?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, we did an escort mission too. It was retarded. I've never done an escort mission in UO, but they made me do it today. So, but yeah, like I showed people, like, this was a game that Chris made. This was a game that Chris was a part of, and the housing economy was everything in this game. Everything for so long. And the reason why was because you can set up a shop in those houses. So if you had a house that was close to a high traffic area, you could set up shop and make a lot of money. But yeah, it was just something that I want to see, like, if they're going to do this in Star Citizen, I really hope that they do it kind of like Ultima Online, where it was like you have either like already made houses that are uncustomizable, but they're customizable. They also had customizable like square plots that you
the
can
way
do.
that they did it in Arcade was really good as well.
Online.
Arcade, the way that they did it in Arcade was really cool too, because what you did was you had basically pre-made buildings, right? But there was literally nothing in them. Okay, so there was they had floor plans.
You decorate
and then yeah, you got all those individual things for decorating, kind of like how we have hanger flares and all that other stuff now. And
like
so
I showed everybody my castle, which is one of those pre-made houses, and it's completely decorated.
Was ruined within the first 2 weeks by people, gold farmers, plot hogging.
There were issues with that, but the reason that is because the maps
they knew what it was like in Ultima Online.
Yeah, well, the other thing too is the maps are a certain size, right? When you have literally planets, right? It's a lot harder to hog all the stuff on a single planet, and even if you had all the players only on one planet, it's still like it's a whole planet. Like, you know, you wouldn't necessarily be able to walk across a continent in real life in an hour or 2 hours, where you could do that in Arcade. You know what I mean?
I suppose when Chris said that it could be like cloaked or invisible, what he might have been thinking is that you wouldn't be able to see it really unless you knew the coordinates of it, because it's on a planet.
Yeah.
You're not going to know where it is.
You're not going to know
One
where
of the
things
best
are,
things
unless you have
about
the
Ultima
coordinates
Online
for it.
was waiting for somebody to like leave their house and kill them, and then like way back though, there was no key. Like there was keys. You can kill them
if they
take
open
their
the door,
key, open the door, go
Same thing with
inside and
Arcade.
take everything.
Same thing with Arcade, and people would just get fucking wrecked.
They did away with that.
I used to play
casual and casualer over the years.
Ultima Online's work. I used to play up until I was really reasonably enjoying the game, and then every time I left a city, a group of people building chairs around me would appear. They'd build 10 chairs around
That's
you.
a bannable offense now, by the way.
I'm sure it is now, but 10 years ago.
It was very soon after that.
It was even longer than 10 years ago.
This is the thing, right? Like, they could also do it in a way that you have to, like, when they see cloakable like that, I think maybe it could also mean something like, oh, there's no scanners for it, or scanners couldn't ever pick that up. Right? It's not that you can't see them with your eyes if you fly over it, but for you to scan it from a distance where you wouldn't normally be able to see it, maybe that's what they mean. Or maybe that's what he means by that. And that would make a lot more sense.
Because there is no cloaking in the game as far as I'm aware.
There's no like radar or scanning for buildings or anything that we know of at this point.
Oh, I didn't even think about scanning for buildings or radar for that, for heat signatures on planets. That's an interesting video to do. Thank you,
So that's what it might be in regards to.
Okay. We'll have to wait and see.
Me and Matt Sherman at CitizenCon, we're going to fight. He just said for any of UO's old charms, many of the changes that saw over the years happened for very good reasons. You're wrong. It ruined everything. They ruined my game.
Oh, man.
They ruined all my fun, man. There were so many good things. You used to be able to kill murderers and cut their head off, and you can have their head as a trophy. They got rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
So many good things.
So one of the other things that Chris hinted at was that we would see more of Orgs 2.0 and possibly the new communication platform at CitizenCon.
Mm-hmm.
Which is exciting.
It's interesting that they call it a communications platform.
I mean, the question was specifically about Orgs 2.0, but we know that the Orgs 2.0 has been rolled into the communications platform.
Right.
And he said something at CitizenCon. So I'm just assuming that it's the communication platform.
It's a surprise at CitizenCon kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I imagine we'll hear some really cool stuff with that. And I mean, that makes sense that the Orgs 2.0 is going to be coming in then. I mean, I'm hoping at least by CitizenCon we are starting to see Star Marine and stuff like that, and we are starting to see more team play aspects. And for right now, the team stuff that's in the game is mediocre at best. You know what I mean? So it would be nice to see some of these things sort of come through and be it so we can actually communicate to our org members a lot easier, have them communicate with us and sort of be able to show that within the game and have those affiliations and everything. Sort of.
And then on top of that, with that, it's just all bunch of website changes too that should improve things.
Yeah. So I'm hoping it has some sort of party and money management system so that you can switch UEC around from people.
Being able, not only that, like I don't think you'll have individual control of people's UEC, but being able to give ships to the organization.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so the organization has ships or whatever, and they
shared hangars maybe. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. They said they wanted to have organization hangars, and they wanted to have the ability for us to be able to rent out ships and have that sort of ability to do that either from the organization or from on an individual basis. So, yeah.
Man,
so
I'm gonna be totally not paying attention now. Sorry. Me and Matt Sherman having UO discussions in the chat.
Yeah. So I don't really know what else.
So a lot was talked about procedural generation in that interview as well. So he really, really is going away from procedural generation in the style of No Man's Sky, and
he was like laughing. Oh my god! I paused it a couple times. He was smirking a little bit about No Man's Sky. Like he was saying good things.
Yeah.
But he was smirking a little bit.
But he was like, well, he was
that's
saying,
so good for Star Citizen.
And that's it.
The way it happened.
Chris was saying that No Man's Sky was an amazing technical achievement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From a technical point of view. And
but he never said it was a good game.
Yeah, he was very much saying that technically this is great. This is an awesome thing. But so what do you guys, before we continue with the procedural generation talk, what do you guys think of the No Man's Sky refunds and that everyone is like gone crazy for trying to get a refund?
Okay, so I pre-ordered No Man's Sky about 6 or 7 months ago. I had some, we'll call them fanatical people about No Man's Sky that, were like, oh, you need to play this. You need to switch your channel from Star Citizen to No Man's Sky. It's going to be the best thing ever. It's going to be whatever. And
I was one of those people.
And for me, it was like, I could see a million miles away that it was Spore 2.0. And I was already calling it Spore 2.0. And people are like, no, you'll see. You're going to be wrong. And all this other stuff. And I'm like, all right, well, you know what? Whatever.
I said that shit to you. I'm eating my words. And
I was like, well, I don't see how they're going to do it. If they do, great. I have it. I pre-ordered it. We'll try it out. I don't think it's going to be a game for me. And I stayed away from any spoilers. I didn't watch any videos on it. I didn't watch any news on it. I didn't do anything, right? Because it's not something that I'm, and this is my personality or what happens. Like, I get into something and I'm into it 100%. So I'm all my time spent researching and reading about Star Citizen or whatever, or the things going on around Star Citizen that are really close to it. So I tried to stay away from the No Man's Sky. And obviously, as the release date got closer and leaks came out and stuff like that, and people are like, oh, somebody beat the game in 30 hours and all this other stuff, I was like, okay, did one of your lights go out? Bored?
Oh, shit. My bad. There you go.
Yeah. And like all this other stuff and whatever. So I'm like, okay, we'll try it. I don't think it's going to be for me. And when I played it, if you like resource collection and resource management and crafting, then awesome. You're probably going to like it. If you want space combat and exploration and finding new places and new things and all this other stuff, like all the planets were the same that I went to. They were all the same. Because
that's like one of the things that Chris said was
when you mix all colors, everything turns brown.
It's only a matter of time before things start looking similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a thing that in the 2 hours that I played No Man's Sky, that was the thing that happened.
Yeah, I played it less than 2 hours and I got a refund the same day.
You want to hear a funny story about a refund for that game? Somebody in the chat told me today that Good Old Games gave him a refund for No Man's Sky. He never even asked for it.
Really?
They were just like, this game's shit. You can just have the money back.
I don't think that No Man's Sky is shit. I do, however, think that it's should be a $20 game. It is an indie $20 game. It should still be in early access, and it should be clearly defined what it is. It said multiplayer for the longest time. It's not multiplayer. That's a flat out lie. It might
that was their cover up for them being always online or something. I don't know. Yeah.
And there are certain social multiplayer aspects, but it's not a multiplayer game. There's no interaction. It's not multiplayer.
Right.
So, and it looks like it might be deleting people's progress every 2 weeks.
Yeah, like it wipes things. So it's like, what's the point of naming something? It's just going to wipe it in a week. Yeah, it wipes everything.
Client servers saving the info. So there's loads of issues with it, and that's why I think it should be on early access. And if it had been $20,
Tortopia is gone. Is that what you're telling me?
It will be. It won't. It's not forever.
But so that game, I do think in a few months will be pretty good, and I enjoy it as a casual. I can't even define it properly as a genre. It's so weird. It's a casual discovery game. That's a lot about. It's not really a survival game. It's more of a survival management game where you're just managing your inventory management, very heavily. Like you've got the tiniest amount of space to start with. You're just juggling things,
and you're just collecting resources to get off the planet, and then from there it's just collecting resources for the sake of collecting resources.
And it doesn't matter. Like you see these amazing creatures, which literally mean nothing because if you kill them, they're just carbon. They're not like you can't have them as trophies.
Well, and the other thing too is you don't need to leave your planet. Ever.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
Space combat in that game is terrible.
Oh,
it's
so
an early access game.
And they promised all those fleets and everything, and those fleets don't exist. Like when they were like, oh, you can see all these fleets come in and pirates and shit. They didn't exist.
Yeah. It was very much a Peter Molyneux experience. I felt with this game where it was overhyped. Possibly Sean Murray didn't lie originally, but he didn't correct himself, and that annoyed me. And so I also got a refund.
I
have not gotten a refund. I don't get refunds. If I put the money out there, there's always the risk, Same with Star Citizen, same with any game, so fuck it.
Totally agree with its work, but I felt lied to. It didn't have multiplayer.
Yeah.
That is the reason I bought it.
Yeah, like I wanted to be able to at least
I didn't buy it for multiplayer. I bought it for like the seeing stuff, and I don't know. I just didn't really enjoy the gameplay that was there. Whatever was there, I didn't have that much fun with it.
I do think that we're responsible as well for it. I say we as in the consumer base, because we did see the gameplay. Now that might have been slightly tailored and slightly constructed, like the cool animals.
You saw the graphics.
Yeah, but we saw the graphics. We saw the gameplay.
That's what I'm saying.
And every time we saw something, it was exactly the same. There wasn't he didn't hide that.
Yeah.
He just alluded that there might be more. But we saw that, and we super hyped it in our own brains. Now, and obviously people fantasize about Star Citizenships in a similar way, but probably not to the extent.
But we also see them and see what's going on, and see the amount of detail, and see how different they are, and the variety of everything, and all of that.
And we've got that open development, and we can influence it.
Right.
Yeah. And now that what's really happened with me is now I haven't backed Planet Nomads. I haven't backed Empyrean.
Planet Nomads looks really good, actually.
Yeah, but so did No Man's Sky. So now I'm like, so I need to talk to Clifford because I know he's been playing Planet Nomads. So I need to know, do I need to get this game type of thing? So, but Clifford's actually here, so maybe he can be like, get it.
Tell us, should we get Planet Nomads, Clifford? Because I'll grab it as well.
I don't know what's going on with your lighting board, but you keep going really dark.
Oh, sorry.
His computer screen is his lighting.
Yeah, sorry. My computer screen's super bright. When I change it to a dark website such as this Star Citizen webpage, it just goes, nope, no light for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Board needs some lights.
So, yeah. But no, so before we go away from the procedural planets thing, there was one thing that I wanted to talk about that was really, that excited me about what he said. And it's nothing new that he hasn't been saying, but the kind of way they've been saying it excited me a little bit. And then if you think about it in the lens of what the Stanton system is and what the other systems are, it kind of can tell us the time frame of what it might take for them to make more systems. So basically, they can make a planet in a day. They can put it in the thing, boom, the planet pops up. So just like Elite Dangerous, just like No Man's Sky, the thing just pops up, right? It's just a bunch of numbers.
That's the power of procedural generation.
Yeah.
Yes. But then they go in and they have an artist go in and say, well, I want this here. And what they also said is there's like zones or biomes. So a biome could be, well, we want water here, and we want a rainforest here, and we want a desert here, and so on. So then
the polar
that's done
caps
quickly.
and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so that can be done quickly.
That's like
and then you
on.
get into the finer details of like, we want a landing zone here, we want a mission area here, and stuff like that. So in terms of like what I think a lot of people think, because of how long it's taken the Stanton system to be where it is, I think people are like, oh, we're not going to get that many systems. We'll only have this many at release, or we'll only have that many at release. The Stanton system, every single planet has major landing zones at them.
Yeah.
There are 4 planets in the system with major landing zones. There are moons, all that stuff, right? In some of these other systems, if you go through the star map, it's like Planet 1. There is literally nothing to mine here. There is nothing to do here. It is a waste.
Uninhabitable.
So,
yeah.
Exactly. So that's the one that they just go, procedural, make it.
You can still go and fly down around it. It might have a corrosive atmosphere that takes away your ship shield or something. But...
On those kind of planets, I expect to see lots of shipwrecks and weird shit as well. Though.
But those can probably just be plopped in quickly and easily, right?
Yeah.
They don't have to be like that, like touched and painted and perfect. So I think like a lot of the systems, there aren't as much.
Yeah, but
like a lot of the systems have 1 or 2 landing zones total.
I think it's the ones though that we have expectations about, like for example, Earth, Terra,
Earth,
ArcCorp.
Those are going to take
those ones. Those ones are going to take a while. And how are they going to do it? What is their? How are they going to tackle those kind of things? Because when you have Earth and you know that we have all kinds of we have their different biomes here, and that's easy to break up, right? The Pacific Northwest, you have the plains in the middle, you have the Rocky Mountains. You have the polar ice caps, you have the deserts and stuff like that. Yeah. You know they'll do Earth in detail. But then you also have your cities and your different architecture types and different cities and stuff like that. Like, what level are they going to go to the detail on that? And how are they going to do it? Because now that we know that you're going to be able to explore a full planet, I mean, I'm sure there's ways that they could say, okay, it's 1,000 years in the future, so things have been broken down. But still, even major cities, you're still going to see remnants of buildings or whatever. Like what are they going to do for that is all I'm curious about. I'm not going to say it's right or wrong. I'm just curious to know how they're going to tackle that, because that is going to be a real issue when they face that.
Well, and no matter what, like, we all have our own thing in our mind of what Earth might look like in the future.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So some people are going to be happy with it and some people are not.
I'm just really glad that they are not trying to write a super formula for their procedural generation to make stuff look detailed. They are literally going, no, artist-driven, because they can. Because they've got the time, because they're not doing 1 billion planets. They can have that super high level of detail, and that excites me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Just personally, I think the amount of systems and jump points and things like that might not take, because of this conversation you had, I think it might not take as long as they thought people were thinking it would take. And it was good to hear that it takes a day to do this. It's these things are quick and easy, and then but because we're Star Citizen and because we do things, this way, we're gonna do some fine tuning to it. But not all the planets need that. Not all the moons need that. Mm-hmm. So that should be cool to see.
I just got messaged by someone that works in a mocap studio.
Yeah.
And basically they just said that the global average price for cost of mocap stuff is around $5 for every character second. So for every actor being recorded for 1 second, it costs $5 on average.
That's
the whole service with
That's if you didn't own the studio or whatever.
Well, maybe, but that includes the whole service. No, he works in a mocap studio.
Yeah, so but I'm assuming that's to rent it out.
The sounds.
That's if you rent it.
That's you rented it.
Or maybe.
Yeah, whereas CIG owns theirs.
Oh yeah. If the process is done in the house, the data and the money goes down depending on man hour.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting thing to know.
Which is why I think that was a stretch goal. Was like, we will buy one and it'll make things easier.
Yeah.
If you give this much money.
But
that's something that like, yeah, I wonder if the costs are down because of that.
Mm.
But they also used a different one, didn't they? Like, didn't they use the Schmiegel guys
Andy
studio
Serkis?
one time, or they used his guys?
The Schmiegel guy.
I don't know if they use
That's
Imaginarium,
Circus,
right?
Yeah.
I think so, but they may have worked out a deal with them as well.
True.
Right. So we don't know what those actors were paid, or if it's royalties or what.
True.
And that could have been part of his contract.
They just give him an Idris and they're happy. That's usually what happens.
Just an Idris.
I know. Just an Idris. Here you go, Andy.
Yeah, here
Have
you go.
An Idris.
Go
It'll
pay,
be fun.
Go feed yourself and eat and pay your bills with this Idris. Good luck.
No. I think he's eating just fine.
Yeah.
I think he's eating just fine. Have an Idris. You get to be a part of this game. But
no,
yeah,
you cannot have a completionist pack.
Okay, so one thing we didn't talk about was the Terrapin QA Part 2.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
Yeah, well, something I want to mention in the first one is they talked, and I guess we sort of talked about this last week, was the storms.
Yeah, because we went over it on the stream, right?
Was a storm. So I just want to, that's what still stood out to me the most over the Terrapin QA. But I have the Anvil Terrapin Q&A Part 2 up on stream. There's some cool...
It's like hard to read on stream though, because it's literally a novel.
Yeah,
some of them.
Yeah. I when this came out on my stream last week, I read it.
I did too, but it was like
it was like in through my eyes, out through the back of my head.
It was the day after I went to the hospital too, and I had to stop midway through and was like, I'm getting dizzy, and I got up and I like walked out of the room, drank some water, sat down on the couch, and like calm down because it was actually really hard for me to read that day.
It was interesting for them to talk about the roles and what their original use was as recon for military. So basically like a heavy armored scout is what they are. And for being able to scan out long range and stuff like that. But being able to use them as dropships or other things as well, which is pretty interesting.
It's such a small ship. It's a tiny little ship. I think people don't realize how small it is. It's like the size of an Avenger. And I think it has...
What was the length on it? 20 meters.
Yeah, it's small, man.
It's really small.
It doesn't look that small.
Long.
That like, you know, the concept art sometimes makes ships either look small and they're actually bigger, or bigger and they look small. This concept art makes it makes it look big.
Yeah.
Even the cutout, like the half where you can see on the inside, it still feels big to me, even though the area is not that big. For whatever reason, it just feels big. Yeah. So I think a lot of people just don't get what this ship actually is. You know? And that's why I think this second QA was really, really important.
Yeah.
Sure it is, Jeremiah. Sure it is.
It helps define it, and that's an important thing that they need to do with all the ships. They need to clearly define their roles, which is the issue we had with the Cutlass, I suppose.
Right. That was the big
clearly defined.
Cutlass Gate.
Cutlass Gate.
Yeah.
Dicks out for Cutlass Gate.
Dicks out for the
Dicks
Cutlass
out for the Drake. Dicks out for the Drake
Dicks
Cutlass.
out for Drake, yeah. Let's not start this. Let's not.
I'm making a shirt. It's just going to be hashtag Dicks out for Drake. And people are all going to think it's about, maybe...
the rapper.
Like the rapper. It's like, oh, God. Actually, totally off topic. I don't even know what was happening with it, but do you guys hear about the thing with Chris Brown? He was whatever. There's some SWAT thing or something. He was all holed up in his house. Yeah.
What's new?
Anyways.
That guy's an idiot.
I liked the fact that they compared it to the Gladiator and said the Gladiator's designed to dodge fire, whereas the Terrapin basically isn't.
Yeah. So to give you an example, the Hornet's 22 meters. So this is a little bit shorter than a Hornet.
Which is wild, because it's like a two-person ship, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people with the Terrapin are like sort of like umming and ahhing about it now because they basically said you're a tanky ship, but you need to manage your signature because stealth is your best option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are like, well, why wouldn't I get a stealth ship then? And it's because of that military scout aspect, and it has multiple uses.
Well, it's the scanner is the big deal on this thing, right? It's the scanner and the armor on this that makes it so diverse, I guess, because you'll be able to put different types of scanners into it.
You place it into a situation where you know that it's got a high chance of getting detected, although you're trying not to get detected.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because you should have better scanning abilities than most of the other ships.
You should see them further out than
before
they see you.
I apologize. There is a helicopter going over my house. If you can hear it in a second, I apologize.
Yep. I get those every now and then because I actually live pretty close to a highway. So if there's an accident. But, yeah, I mean, it's a cool ship. It's really not wide for everybody, though. And I'm glad that the second QA came out and it just basically said, for me, I don't need it. Because, like, I really thought it was more of, like, for mining and, like, I thought it was more leaning towards that, but it really does feel like...
It might be good for scanning for mining stuff, but...
Yeah, but...
You're
it's not something that I feel like I need.
You have an Orion, right? You'll probably be able to do that right on the Orion.
Yeah. So. I think we'll be all right. I think I'll be all right.
Arcos, shipping your goods back down to planets.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's going to be fun.
But yeah, I liked the fact they defined the Terrapin a bit better. And yeah, I'm sure it's going to be fun for some people. Although, if people want to do exploration of this kind of similar level, get yourself a freelancer DUR.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they even said that in the chat. Like, this isn't necessarily for exploration to, like, find jump points, to find...
this isn't to bring stuff home. This is to find jump points. This is to find information and sell that information. This isn't to pick up trinkets or collect cargo or salvage or any of that stuff.
To be ahead of your fleet, like, while it's moving through.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. Like, that's more what the ship is for.
And, I want a Terrapin in my Carrack. That's what I want it. I want it in an exploration ship. Just going down to a planet with it would be awesome because it can scan. It's a tank. I love it. I love the idea of it.
The Doom Turtle is what I called it on my channel.
The
Doom Turtle.
It just, it's a ship that the gameplay isn't there for it yet, so people can't quite understand.
It's hard to
right?
It's hard to what is the word I'm looking for? It's hard to visualize what the ship is going to be good for when you don't have the mechanics in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I'll take fantasize about it.
Yeah. But
it's the least visually appealing ship to me as well.
I like that it doesn't look like a space plane.
Yeah, there's definitely that.
To me, I like that it's more of like a spaceship or something, and they're going towards that. So
looks like it's an Elite Dangerous, mate.
Yeah,
it does.
Didn't
they show like one of the original concepts of it was literally like the Elite Dangerous Dorito or something like that? I saw a picture of something that looked like the Dorito.
Yeah.
And it was just like, no, can't do that. Please don't. Please don't.
Yeah. So I don't think we have much left in here. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. We have a whole shit ton in here today. Yeah.
I like that made you stop in your tracks there. Oh, no, I've gone dark again. I'm reading a dark website. Apologies.
Yeah. So I'll just jump into these, I guess. And if you guys have any, I'll try and go through and see whoever's putting these in, I think. For those of you listening that are putting it in, try to make sure that they're really good questions because we have a lot in here.
Can we just skip over ones that are shit and delete the ones that are shit?
Yeah, well, I'm just reading them for the first time as I read them out. So if one of you guys want to do that, feel free. First one from Windlord: loading crates one by one to load cargo. Do you think we'll have a forklift, trucks, or for larger quantities, or NPCs to load up a Hully, etc.? Well, I mean, there's a forklift. There's a couple forklifts in the game now. There's one in Grimhex, in the bottom in the loading area, where it's like a traditional forklift, like off and sort of off to the side. But But yeah, I think we'll have like moving things like a forklift or whatever. I don't see why not.
No, definitely.
Floating
They have to
platforms
move
or
cargo
whatever.
around.
Yeah, like large.
They've been talking about it for a while.
Large, the skids of them and whatever, like floating skids or some sort of future skid. What did you think? And this is from Twerkles.
This is from me.
Yeah, well, Twerkles. What did you think of CR's interview about talking about ship prices? Do you think acquiring bigger ships will be harder than some people think?
I didn't see that interview, so I can't have an opinion on it, unfortunately.
But I still have an opinion on it.
He talked about the disparity between a handgun compared to buying an aircraft carrier, and saying that there will be that kind of disparity in game where carriers and capital ships will be a giant group effort. They are going to take a lot of time. They're going to cost a lot of money. But as you work up from an Aurora to your next ship, you'll be earning more and more money every time because you'll be able to take on harder jobs. And
be able to earn more money for those ships. It's just like in real life. If you started out with a scooter to deliver pizza and saved up your money to buy a minivan to deliver whatever parcels, and then you bought a cube van, and then you bought a ATV, and then or an 18-wheeler or whatever, and just continuing expanding and growing, and that's how it works. And to be honest, I hope ships are expensive in game. I really do. And it's not because, I bought these with real money and whatever. That completely aside, I don't even care if that affects it. I want it to be
say
difficult.
He did also imply
like buying a car.
Well, he implied that buying them now would be effectively cheaper than trying to earn them in the universe.
Yeah.
In respects to certain ships, he went, it's going to be really hard to earn certain ships. So I
feel like the Javelin should be extremely difficult to get.
Yes, I'm
and you should have to work for it, and it should be like an org goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's fine with the capital ships because you want to minimize the amount. It doesn't matter how much they cost. You want to minimize the amount that players have in the universe to start with. But as long as it's not like a load of ships, I don't want it sort of like, well, it's really hard to get an Orion, but a load of mining corps bought them before the game sort of thing. I don't want that kind of element of, well, this is annoying because I have a genuine time advantage now, a giant one. But the capital ship stuff, I actually think, and he did say that there was going to be upkeep. So a lot of them are going to actually be liabilities. So people are going to have this giant fleet like Clifford. He's going to have to rent those ships out. He's going to have to make a sod ton of money to be able to maintain his ships.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's just going to fall into ruin. I wonder what happens if you can't maintain them.
I don't know. Well, yeah, I think the big thing with maintaining them is crewing them.
Yeah.
How are you going to crew a ship?
Or hangar fees, something like that.
What happens if you can't pay hangar fees?
Landing fees.
They just eject your ship into space.
Well, I assume they're in your hangar, but if not, maybe they basically put what they have. They have them over in the UK, right? Those boots. Throw it on the wheel.
Oh yeah.
They just throw it over your thruster.
Just impound it. They just impound it if you can't pay the fees or something.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay.
And then you have to pay to get it back. Maybe.
Get it back.
Yeah.
That's could be easily added into as a game mechanic. Redshift 2016 asks, do you think CIG will have any capital ship sales before the end of the year? With a recent Argo hype, I'd like to see a ship big enough, or I'd love to get a ship big enough for one. The Polaris may come during CitizenCon.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to come during Gamescom. To be honest, I thought we were going to see a lot more capital ship during Gamescom, but maybe CitizenCon.
It's also possible that they'll sell some more Idris at the anniversary live stream as well in near November 14th. Don't quote me on the exact date, but it's around then.
Yeah. So there
yes.
you go. Next question's from Ubernerd. Do you think they can pull assets from player homesteads from the ship manufacturers' pipelines? For example, like the Misk Ray House, or the Aegis Forward Base, or the Drake Hideout, or the RSI Hunting Lodge. As they all have to do is reuse assets they already have, and no internal physics grids would be necessary, just a door lock and armor. Maybe some attachment points for flare and things like that. I'm sure they do that already with cities, like entire cities and everything, and space stations. So and even ships. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did the same thing for homesteads or whatever it is they're deciding to do with that. Our next question is from Barbarian Bluff. What do you think will be shown at CitizenCon? Twerk.
Wow, such a question.
Well, Chris said you'll see some Squadron 42.
Mm-hmm.
Chris also said that if you thought this demo was good, the 3.0 demo, he said wait till CitizenCon. So, and then every single dev in every studio around the world went, fuck. Fuck. But yeah, it's I don't know.
Orgs 2.0.
They'll maybe show 3.0 in a better
or more
state, right? Because he said this is only Planet's version 1, and I think what we saw in that German magazine was Planet's version 2 with like the
well, it was just a rocky planet that we saw, and that was it.
Yeah.
So
like all we saw was the rocky planet. There was no water, there was no fauna, there was no flora, nothing. So you might see a little bit more, you know? So if they decide to show a similar demo, that's what it will be. It's only a month away, right? About a month and a half now. So Star Marine probably.
Yeah, because
that patch should probably be around
Star Marine
that time.
is either dropping then or shortly before then.
I think it'll drop then.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, so it might be similar to what they did with 2.5 with Gamescom. It was like in the PTU / going live around that time, and then they just briefly talk about the features that are in it, and then go into more of what's going on. I think it'll be a very Squadron 42 based thing. I feel like it has to be. They're either going to tell us if Squadron 42 is coming in 2016 or not, right?
Yeah.
I think that would be probably like hey, you know, this is what we have. You can tell it's going to be really awesome, so wait a little bit longer for it. Is what I think is going to happen. And I've been telling people this is like they haven't went back on the 2016 thing, and it's like, well, you know, just being a Star Citizen backer, like, you know, it's going to be good. It might be a little longer than whatever they say. Yeah. That's usually what happens, and we'll be good. So, like, I've gotten that question a few times since Gamescom, since there's been a lot of new people coming in.
The thing is, they're really good at keeping those assets under lock and key and not showing us stuff and whatever. So who knows? They may be really close. We just don't know.
There's two other things that we're likely to see. Voice over IP.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope so.
So every time I've brought this up or poked someone about it or looked at an interview about it, there's been implications that it's not just voice over IP. There's something special about it. So I'm thinking maybe it moves the mouth when you talk, or you can do it or something silly, or it could be from ship to ship communications, or that could be I don't know.
Yeah,
there's too many things it could be with voice over IP.
Yeah, I think there could be some other crazy integrations, and I'll
maybe
just leave
NPCs
it at that.
react to your voice, like they'll look at you.
Maybe
talk. Something like that. Even.
I think it's even bigger than that. If that makes any sense. I am pretty sure I know what it is, so I don't want to say anything. But I think it'll have some cool integration stuff.
Cool.
But
I don't even
we'll
care. See. Just have it.
Just have it. Yeah, it'll be cool when it comes
everything.
In. It's going to change a lot of stuff.
It'll change everything.
All you hear is people run by you. Thanks for Truck 17! As they're flying by you. Yeah.
I'm just going to play music the whole time.
So many YouTube recordings ruined by voice over IP. It's going to be beautiful.
I'm going to have... so many people are going to have me muted. It's going to be terrible.
Mersh,
it's going to be so bad.
The other stuff...
Oh.
Well, we talked about it earlier. The Polaris Corvette and the new communication platform, or the website redone.
There you go.
I think that's the other stuff we're going to get.
Yep.
Mersha asks, how many Phoenixes do you guys think still exist?
Oh.
Because they're only sold once.
Good question.
And through all the melting.
Upgrades available at one point, weren't they?
Maybe, I don't know.
And they were sold in a package.
How many were sold, though? Do we remember? I can't remember the number of Phoenixes. Was it 600? Or was that... Yeah, it was 890 jumps, right?
Yeah.
They sold the Phoenix for a second time, definitely. I remember people getting salty about it.
Yeah, I remember that as well.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Remember the salt?
No, I remember people are like, they said they weren't going to sell this again. Like, they've
There's
done
probably
that with
like
every
1,500.
ship. But that's the only one that they're like, no, not allowed. It's illegal.
It's probably. I think it might be the smallest amount of ship in the game, other than the javelin.
Or
now,
the scythe.
Which is that's a good point. I don't know how many sides there's sold.
How many
something.
sides do you think got
No,
mounted?
there's like 300 or something.
Oh, really? It's that low?
Yeah.
Jeez.
They've given a couple away, but yeah, not a lot is my answer.
Not a lot.
Muff to you asks, do you think, and if yes, how will that see it? Wait, this is this. I'm gonna read it out and see if you guys can decipher it from here. Do you think, and if yes, how will that CIG interfere if an organization gets really big and may start trolling players who are not in an org and may be new to the game?
Yes, and I always go back to Ultima Online, and it's because Ben actually went to Ultima Online with this.
Mm-hmm.
Is what Ben and Lando and Hennessy probably, well, maybe not Hennessy, I don't know, because he does like the video stuff, but the community team will actually become like in-game GMs.
Like GMs, yeah, and they'll hire GMs and stuff, just like Blizzard.
Yeah, like what Blizzard has. So like they can go in game and just drop a giant kingship there.
They could have
and be like,
Van
you're gonna
Duels
troll
come
this
in.
thing. I'm gonna put something super badass here, and you're not gonna be able to fight it off. So fuck you, type of thing. Like you can't do that, so we can do this. Or
Yeah.
they can, I don't know, they can teleport people around. If it's anything like what most games are like with GMs, they could just pull people out and stuff like that if people are
I think they'd have to be
exploiting and shit.
Severe trolling and exploiting them to pull anyone out. I think they do in-game things to stop them, in-game police, in-game restrictions and things that would affect your in-game play.
And you should be able to lock down an area.
Yeah.
Like, there should be nothing wrong with that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Our next question comes from Retro Games Addict. With Planet Flight 3.0, it was said that something like an Aurora would be trickier to fly, and with a Terrapin, might having to sit through storms rather than try to take off. Do you think ships like the Aurora will have great difficulty performing air-to-ground support like the Freelancer in the demo, and are you going to get stranded in your Aurora planetside in bad weather? Probably. For the stranded thing with the Aurora.
Yeah.
Because it's just not very strong ship. But
I think you'll be able to take off in bad weather. I just don't think your sensors will work.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do that. And
yeah, we'll have to see.
Is to the air to ground stuff, I mean, probably not. It probably won't be that difficult. You'd still be able to do it if you really wanted to. There's just gonna be ships that are gonna be more suited towards that.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, think you have an Aurora as a floating brick, essentially, right? So, if they have any aircraft or any spacecraft or whatever you want to call it, weapons, something like something more aerodynamic is going to be a lot faster and can get out of there quicker and easier, where the Aurora is going to have to slowly be like a bus turning around. Avog asks, what GPU would be the optimal and in brackets cheapest choice for high settings, 1080p 60 fps for both AMD and Nvidia?
Or this is a BoredGamer question.
GTX 1060 3 GB version. You get them for sub $200, I think now.
There you go.
And they are absolutely fantastic. They're better than 980s. They're very good. They're really good cards.
Yeah. So there you go. There's your answer for that.
Done.
Go ahead.
No, I just said done.
Oh.
Ding.
Done.
Oh, I thought you
Question
said
done.
something. Tyroy says, so what is your take on the 3.0 demo in that they run it as a multiplayer event as opposed to a single player mission? We had an argument and a bet last time. What do you think this says about the gameplay mission design and the ability of running higher level missions alone?
Oh, you're fucked, Soros. You're going to lose that bet for sure.
No, it's going to be
No way.
instanced for sure. It's going to be instanced to your group. You're insane if you
No
don't
way.
think it's so. Okay.
No way.
This is why.
Like,
Anyways.
we're good. This bet's going to, like, We have to make it. We don't have to make it today.
Yeah,
but we have to fucking
and
make
it's
this.
Gonna be something.
Because no chance you're dead wrong. But okay. What was the question? Because as soon as I heard about the bet, I was just like,
right.
Yeah. And so it's what's your take on the 3.0 demo? Do you think it's something that? What does it say about the gameplay, mission design, and the ability of running higher level missions alone? I think the higher level stuff. Well, to a certain extent, I think the super high end tier stuff you're gonna need to do in a group, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, just like most MMOs,
yeah,
big,
just
like
exactly those big raids and shit you need to do in a group.
Purely mission dependent. There are going to be stealth and covert ops missions where you're going to be able to do them solo in a Terrapin or a Saber if you're really good. But there are going to be clear out the pirate based missions where it's going to be like there's going to be 30 men on the ground. You're going to need more manpower. It'll be purely dependent on the mission.
100%. Will from Nova Prime, will the hangars be expandable like pre 2.4 soon, or do you think that's further down the road?
I don't know.
I don't know what happened to the hangar room systems because they were like showing those and then they just disappeared and they stopped.
They
talking
wanted
about
to get the port system in and that fully working first, and then re-expand.
Yeah, and then make it so it's like a building that it's not just hangar things. And I think what they probably want to do is have different rooms not connected to each other, where you have your different ships and stuff like that.
So I'm assuming it will come after Item System 2.0 fully implemented. I mean, I think that's a core feature probably of the item system that they'll add on, because it'll be room add-ons, won't it? Effectively, it'll be like the port system but for rooms. So
I hope so. It seemed like it was a thing that was going to come really early, but it just never happened.
Yeah.
Man said.
TCAB XIS asks, at the end of the 3.0 gameplay demo when the ships drop down, do you think that the mission would continue as a getaway mission, or would it just be in that demo and be different at launch?
I think different, or they just kind of chill out and start taking the loot away. Like, that was just a narrative way of ending it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a good question. It's actually a really good question, but I wouldn't even begin to. I think it would take me a while to think of what will happen.
Okay. This one is from ABD FNRU. There seems to be a group of ships around the 350 mark that is kind of the go-to ship for each role. Do you think any of the roles are missing at the moment? So right now there's a Reclaimer for salvage, the Hull D for transport, the Crucible for repair, the Carrack for exploration, the Orion for mining, the Starfarer for refuel, the Endeavor for science. I don't think they have something like... Do they have anything that's like boarding / combat?
It will be the Prowler when it comes out.
Well, that's kind of what the Cutlass was supposed to be, right?
Well, no, not that around the 350 range.
That'll be the Tavaran Prowler.
350 range.
Yeah.
And when that Prowler comes out, it will be...
Well, and the Carrack maybe... Or not the Carrack, the Caterpillar?
The Caterpillar is... Yeah.
For boarding, potentially? Well, definitely with its... with the... the little motorbikes. I'm so out of it right
Dragonfly,
now.
bro.
The Dragonflies. Thank you. But
so the only other one there is like an anti-fighter ship, which was probably what the Polaris Corvette will be. So I'm thinking now. Some sort of military capital ship, but obviously that will be beyond the $350 mark.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Caterpillar, we haven't seen much of it in a while. So now, since it's been like kind of not the highlight of things, I wonder if we see it next, how far along it'll be. And
I think it's done. I can feel it in my Drake gut.
You can feel it in his fupa.
Dicks out for the Caterpillar, boys.
Dicks out for the Caterpillar.
Yeah,
take your Caterpillar out for the Caterpillar.
Wow.
From Lacticinator to BoredGamer.
Oh God.
Now you've been popping out a lot of vids, but are you considering redoing loadout or item weapon shield vids?
No, it's just what I'm thinking of, just keeping the old ones and then just putting like an annotation. Yes, of course I'm going to redo them all.
There's just no point in doing them until 2.0, the item system, right?
Yeah, exactly. The item system. I mean, I will be doing loadout stuff. I'll be doing stuff and casually at the moment. But as soon as the item system 2.0's out,
and like
then
it's like anytime
we'll
once the game comes out too, that doesn't mean that it's done doing those. Every time there will be a major change to them, you'll have to go back and revisit them.
Probably even minor changes. It depends if I'm bored for content.
Right. Quiller ask a question. I'm going to answer it with one answer. We're going to move to the next one. Quick question: can the Gladius cloak? Quick answer: no. Minidan 54.
No cloaking in the game.
Has anyone of you ever thought that Star Citizen might get boring after some time? 1, if you have a lot of ships bought already, or 2, if the game's content won't be enough to get long time motivated.
Yes, I will occasionally get bored of games. I'll take an hour or 2 break or a day break and then go back.
Yeah, I mean, there's been lots of times where I've sort of been like, okay, it's the same sort of shit still. We're just waiting on next patch or waiting on whatever. But I don't... Yeah, I mean, that's just part of it, I guess. I don't know.
But that's the thing about Star Citizen, though, is that I think what we expect of it is to not necessarily be...
Yeah, and it's not going to last
as
forever.
Bad as other games with that, right? Because they have so much detail, they have so many different mechanics, there's so many different things you can do. As long as you're willing,
well, it's like there's still people
I don't know if you're
going
to be willing to break out from PvP as much as somebody like myself who's willing. Like, I really want to try every little thing, right? Like, I'm willing to do passenger transport because that might be cool,
right?
So. Yeah, like I played UO for 15 years. I think Star Citizen
like it's the same thing with World of Warcraft or EVE or anything like that, right? Like you have people that are still playing that, and yeah, some people got bored of it. I got bored of WoW after a certain amount of time, but there's some people who still love it. You know, and
any idea how many hours you have in UO, Twerk? Gameplay hours.
Gameplay years?
Literal hours of gameplay.
Well, I think it can be years.
Oh.
I played the game for 15 years.
I mean, but okay. So
I played the game since 1999.
So normal like single player games might have like 40 to 60 hours of content playable. Dota 2 for me is a good kind of how long do you play until you get bored? About 1,200 to 1,500 hours. So I think that's quite a good. Same with like Payday 2. So it's about 1,000 hours. So I think I'll be able to get at least that out of Star Citizen before I then go, I need to do something different in Star Citizen or take a break from it, even if it's just for like a week.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, there's things in Ultima Online when houses fall, like you don't know when they're going to fall. Like there was a day where there were a bunch of houses that were supposed to fall. When they fall, all the shit that's inside them sits on the ground for you to pick up. And the really good plots open up. And there was a time where a bunch of houses, they were not decaying properly. There was something that was broken. And then one day, they figured out how to get them all to decay properly. And every house in every server that was supposed to decay for all these years that didn't decay, decayed and dropped all on a single day.
Oh my god, that must have been madness.
I didn't sleep for 2 days because there were houses that people didn't know about, and you went and picked up the stuff. It was nuts, the stuff that I got. Yeah, that was so like just in 24 hours at least, like I played 24, 30 hours in one sitting.
My god. I love how passionate you are about UO, and I hope
that game was so good, dude.
I hope you get that
nostalgia. Matt Sherman ruined it. No.
I hope you get that passion for Star Citizen, because that kind of nostalgia passion.
I hope it's there,
Yeah.
I really do. And I think it can be. That I've had never been as excited for a game and think that a game could do it for me like that. So, yeah. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited. Yeah. Pretty excited for Star Citizen. I hope it does what Ultima Online did when I was a kid.
Our next question's from Drauger. What would be your favorite Smoltz lager if you got to make one?
What?
It's bacon.
Beer. Yeah.
Peanut butter and pretzel.
Done.
That's a good one.
Notorious DYD asks, so with the statement that we will probably get buildable bases in game, how would you like to see it implemented? like Imperium, so Minecraft Deluxe, like Fallout 4, or delivered prefabricated modules. I would like to see it. I would like to see it the way that ArcAge did it, which it sounds like the same way that Ultima Online did it.
Yeah, originally they gave you prefab, and then
you had
later they gave you just a square
plots
that you can customize yourself.
Yeah.
And you know what? That kind of sucked because then literally it was just square boxes all over the map.
Yeah.
And like people customized them. They made them beautiful, some of these houses, but mostly it was just like square. You know, because most people aren't as creative as like, you know, there's only so many artists out there, right?
Right. Some people are creative and some people are like, I just want it to function.
Exactly. Like most of my houses were just boxes.
So
confirmed. Twerk lived in a box for 15 years.
I think the buildable bases would have to be pretty modular because you'd have to transport the base parts to the planet, and then have them build them. So they'd have to be pretty modular, pop-up-esque kind of buildings.
Not necessarily. There's 3D printing, man.
There's 3D printing, and they could also do it with, you have a hologram, so you see a hologram of where it goes. Just like they do it, like if you've ever played like any of those Arma mods, where you have base building, or like just like they did in ArcAge or whatever, it doesn't really take you out of the game. It just shows you where it's going to be built and how you want it placed, and then you put it there, and then, yeah, it's just whatever.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to have to reserve judgment until I don't know how I want it done.
Grizz Warmace asks, do you think EVE Online is going free to play due to Star Citizen?
No, I think it's going free to play because it's a 15-year-old game.
Yeah.
I still can't believe Ultima Online's not free to play. It's $14 a month.
It's weird, isn't it, that it's not free to play?
They're nuts, but they still have subscribers.
Yeah.
I've been paying for 2 accounts.
EVE Online,
this whole time?
It's a good model for them.
Yeah. I don't know anything about EVE Online, so I can't comment.
Yeah, me neither. I've never played.
It might make me go back and play again. I mean, I've got a good amount of ISK on my characters, like probably like 5 or 6 plex.
But if it's free to play, do you need ISK and plex and?
Well, yeah, because
plex is like real money, right?
It's in-game time, which is worth real money.
Yeah, but now if it's free to play, that's not worth anything.
Well, it's not worth anything. It will be worth money in some way. It will still be a commodity good for ISK, because people have still got hundreds and hundreds of these plex.
But their value's certainly gone down.
I don't know.
Going free to play.
I don't know. They might not have, because they might only be worth. We will have to see.
Okay. If you do go back and it is free to play, I would love to try it. Because I feel like it's a game that you have to try if you're going to play Star Citizen, because people make comparisons. It's
certainly, there's a lot to do in it, and what we'd be doing is probably doing some wormhole space-based stuff, which is quite interesting for me, and like a mid-level kind of difficulty. Quite a bit of organisation and stuff. But yeah, we'll have a look. See if it's good free-to-play model. I'll grab some people and jump back in.
Okay.
From Notorious DYD, last buildable property question. He swears people on the RSI forums have stated that the number one problem with allowing players to control property is that players, for example in EVE, can band together to purchase huge swaths of land. My solution to this
is
awesome,
though.
That's awesome, though. Yeah, I agree. My solution, and this is what he says, is not to allow players to own property, but only be able to lease it from the NPC local government, property cannot be sold to other players, whatever. Once again, and it's like, how do you think this problem could be solved? Do you see any other major problems with player-owned properties? My answer to this is the same one I had before. We are talking with planets on scale of property. Even if we had every single person in the world playing this game, right? And even if the planets are a 1 to 4 scale, with 2, 3, 4 planets, you're fine. Right? And not everybody's going to be want to be near UEE or want to be near Vandul or want to be near Pirates or whatever. So I don't think it's going to be an issue. If an organization wants to put all their resources into buying large property, then they let them. Why not? There's no reason why they shouldn't be able to do that.
There were some I'm sorry that I'm always going back to Ultima Online, but this is my experience.
It's a good comparison.
So
it genuinely is.
There was guilds in the game that would eventually buy up a whole area, and they would make like a little town. How fucking cool is that? That's awesome. You know, so little things like that could be super cool. Like, I'm just saying from like role play standpoints to, you know, there's like a lot of things. It's not just, you know, power and controlling and money. Like, people do that stuff for role play, and it's cool. I don't know.
I don't think we have enough information to work out exactly. How
no, I mean, it literally just
all.
pooped out of Chris's mouth, and now everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
I can't
we've
wait.
Got no real. Other than they've talked about the node system before and factory nodes and stuff. We don't really know
actually
how.
Got me into Star Citizen.
Yeah,
was that exactly?
And as far as I'm aware, that economy stuff that they've talked about like 2-3 years ago now is the way they want to do it still, like with the nodes and all that sort of stuff. But this is so significantly beyond that with controlling your own property and bases, and we just don't know enough. We don't know enough to even speculate properly. Yeah. So it's all fantasies at the moment.
Our next question is from nobody.
Full stop. His name's Full Stop.
The question is, do you feel like the increase of new players, Twitch followers, or YouTube subscribers has had any negative effects on your streams or videos? For example, your chat more immature, or the comments more ridiculous or lackluster or whatever?
One of the things you'll find is that me, Saurus, and Twerk, we all say we hate subscribers. We want less of them. Don't like and subscribe. Do the opposite. I mean, it's all amazing, really, isn't it? I mean, the big jump of new people that have come into the community is fantastic for everyone. And I can't see really any negatives.
Yeah, no, I like in terms of chat and stuff like that. My channel is how I want it to be. I mean, it's something that I've sort of curated to have my channel like this for the last 2 years, right? So a group of people or a temporary group of people isn't going to really change that, and it hasn't really been that big of an issue, you know. Like, you know, I'm saying this now, but yeah, no, it's been good. I like all the new people have been great, you know, asking questions and getting involved with the community and everything like that, and that's awesome. You know, I can't even think of a negative experience that I've had in the past week. I'm sure there have been, but they just, compared to everything else, they don't stand out at all.
Nah, like, great. I haven't had really any negative experiences. It's been really great, and I'm looking right now. I'm 16 subs away from 250 subs. A number that I thought I'd never hit.
Sub to Twerk and get him those emotes.
Nah,
that's 2 more emotes, and I have to cosplay as Trixie again.
Yes.
You don't have to.
You have to.
I have to. I said I would.
It's against the law if you don't.
Twerks look forward to being Trixie. It's like,
Twerk can't wait to get in that dress. Oh my god. Okay, my Twitter feed is blown up with all these pictures from Sunday. And it is...
It's literally the makeup, everything I have to do again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that makeup tutorial you did was beautiful, Twerk.
It's great. I mean, it's used by everyone.
It really is. It is. Got a smile on your eyes, Twerk.
All, guys, what are they called? Drag shows all over the world.
Someone just unsubbed from my channel. No, I didn't mean it.
No. But guys,
and this is the reason why I haven't been wanting to subscribe.
You guys can sub to me, and we will spam the chat with emotes, and we will make up for BoredGamer's loss of subscribers by gaining subscribers here.
No, but literally, it's been to answer the question, it's been awesome.
It's been good.
A lot of what I love to do is talk about like teach the game to people who don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten to do that every day. So it's been really, really fun.
Well, it's a lot easier to show things.
It's been awesome
to new people.
Yeah. It's been my favorite. So it's been a great experience for me.
Oh, you're only allowed to spam if somebody subs. Otherwise, it's illegal, and you're gonna get banned from Twitch. Not just my channel, just from Twitch in general. Maybe even the internet. Watch out for those internet police. Right? Giran asks, Caterpillar, you think it's almost done waiting for the next update to get in the hangar, or it's not even close? I think it's pretty close. We talked about this earlier, but
it was done to me. It was done to me.
Yeah.
Probably.
Count Cockbox asks, does anyone have plans to pick up an OSIC VR headset? I have no idea what that is. I had a chance to try one. They're badass. They seem ideal for Star Citizen. Their Kickstarter was way more successful than the Oculus. It's a VR headset you can comfortably wear for 8 hours. Blew my mind. Never tried one. Don't know. I have the Vive. I'm happy with that. Does that count?
Screw VR. That's where I'm at. It doesn't make any sense to me.
They're like curved TVs to twerk. Curved TVs are the dumbest thing ever.
Oh, so the OSIC is the thing I backed on Kickstarter as well. It's like the evolution of 3D audio. It's like
it's headphones. Yeah,
it's amazing. It really mimics where you're hearing the sound from. It's something I was thinking about getting for doing first-person shooter-based games.
Okay, that's cool.
I think it would really help, but
I'm
partially deaf in my left ear. So,
question from Rusty Gears: what happens if you enter ArcCorp's flight corridor to land at Area 18, but your ship is too damaged to remain in the flight path? How does air traffic control bring your ship in if your ship has damaged thrusters and is plummeting through the surface? I think that's what the purpose of the initial ring is. Maybe you'll have to stop at it first and then go through.
Yeah, they'd probably send up some sort of like crew to help you down or something. Maybe.
Yeah.
Or they just.
Or maybe you burn up in entry.
Oh,
if your ship's too damaged, it might burn up an entry.
It's so funny.
And you can land. Okay, I don't know how ArcCorp will work. So, but you can like how they landed outside of the area, and then you'd have to walk up there. So I don't know, but ArcCorp is definitely an interesting one. I don't know. It'll probably just pull you in. Tractor beam.
Tractor beam you. Yeah, well, that's what they said they would be doing, right? For some of the landing zones, they don't want you flying around them. So they'll tractor beam you in. Copod93 asks, so far in the PTU, I've only experienced FPS fights with severe delays and latency issues, especially while floating in space. Do you guys think Star Marine will be lag/delay free like other shooter games? Battlefield, CSGO, Call of Duty, whatever.
Probably not initially.
No, but I think it'll be...
Release of it'll probably
I think it'll be a lot better. Like
does.
Star Marine in particular will be a lot better just because of the amount of information it needs to send to the clients. And yeah, so I imagine it'll be a lot better than what it is now, but I don't think it'll be perfect even on the first implementation.
Yeah, that German magazine, they got to play a little bit of Star Marine, and they said it was much better than what we currently have in the persistent universe. So,
and that's what I'm after, something that's much better, that is at least playable. I don't want to be rage creating every second because I've been killed by someone that's entirely desynced. So as long as it's fixed most of that, I'm happy.
Yeah, and they may not. Who knows? So they're working on it, that's for sure. It's just a matter of getting it down.
Our next question is from Commander Riker. What do you think will be implemented in 3.0 concerning VoIP, and what is the end goal for Star Citizen in regards to that?
For 3.0, I think it'll just be VoIP. Press a button, you can hear people that are near you. But the end goal, they talked about like having your webcam in the game.
Yeah, like all kinds.
A long time ago. That was like an idea that was put out there. Maybe that's the end goal.
Hello, cat. Notorious DYD. Oh, what were you gonna say?
I just said meow. You said hello, cat.
Meow. I thought you said now, and then you're gonna go into something.
That's what I thought you were saying too.
How do you guys think the UEE will/should handle the discovery of new star systems? If a player reports it to the UEE for fame or money or etc., will they annex those systems? If they don't, what is the purpose of discovery of star systems if it doesn't change the geopolitical climate of the UEE? What if you discover a system while in Geon space, or Banu space, or Vandal space, or whatever, etc.?
I'd have to look back at the lore, but if you find it, I don't think it necessarily meant that you owned it. So
you'd upload it to the Ark, wouldn't you?
Maybe, but then the UEE gets involved in some way, and they decide if it's terraformable or not, and then the UEE would like sell them off to people. So I don't remember. I'd have to look back at the lore of how certain systems were founded.
Yeah,
but
I'm not
answer
sure.
is in the lore.
Is it?
For sure. Almost positive.
Okay.
At least you can like speculate what your answer would be based on the lore things on each system. Just look back at like any system's lore.
I think the UEE in the beginning of the game are going to be more concentrating in reclaiming their lost territory and fighting probably the Vandal and the Cold War with the Xi'an. So we'll have to see. Have to wait and see.
From Jers Durden, have you heard of any integration to give the Reliant co-pilot tasks? Currently, it's just a seat. I imagine once they have those systems in, it'll be like shield management, power management, calling in for landing, and doing all the stuff that the pilot doesn't do, and being able to split those tasks up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you look at the Freelancer, that came in pretty empty, and then has been getting iterated on every patch. So, like the side door didn't work, now it does. Things like that. So it'll get worked on. They get it flyable, they get it in there, and it'll grow from where it is now.
Regarding the hunkering down and riding out bad weather and things like that, what kind of weather on various types of planets are you guys hoping to see? And this is from Notorious DYD.
I want snow.
Yeah, obviously I want snow, but I also would like to see things like hurricanes or tornadoes, firestorms,
thunder and lightning.
Lightning storms.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Just watching a thunderstorm like you would here.
Yeah.
Volcanoes.
Yeah. Just hearing it tap on the roof of your tin ship.
Yeah, that. Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I just want to sit there on Sunday and be like, I'm camping inside my thing. It's like tink, 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 and you just see the rain on the glass.
There's nothing quite like watching a thunderstorm from a beach out in the distance, right?
So
thunder and lightning storm.
A lot of people don't know that I suffer from quite bad insomnia, and I have to listen to like rainforest and thunder and lightning, and it just puts me out.
That does help me as well.
Yeah, it's just fantastic, and it's something I only discovered in the last like year. I was like, oh my god, why didn't I have this my whole life?
I have to listen to tech podcasts. That's what.
But yeah, like there's things like acid rain and stuff like that. Actually, one of the tech guys was streaming Star Citizen the other day. I went in his channel and said hello.
Who?
The guy that's always wearing the sunglasses inside.
Oh, from Tech Syndicate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really cool. I've had conversations with him on Twitter about Star Citizen.
Yeah.
And Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, he was streaming not too long ago.
Kane.
Yeah, Kane.
Kane.
Yeah. It was his
Kane's cool, man.
Tech Kane or Kane Tech or something like that.
Yep. Yeah, he's a cool dude.
A CIG dev, and this is from Notorious DYD. A CIG dev asked in the Reddit subforum, should players be able to affect or influence ownership of planets in the game? And I guess we kind of we touched base on this one. But yeah, this is something we actually just talked about. That's the second question of the same thing. How many this is from Ollie. How many new ships do you think we'll see this year? And how much are you going to get it in be total, at least in beta? Do you think it'll be the anniversary sale this year? Okay. So how many new ships do you think we're going to see this year?
As in game or?
As in, no,
made.
let's say made,
concept.
like concept.
The Polaris.
10.
Hurricane. Origin 600s. What else are we going to get? Another 3?
Yeah.
Another 3 this year.
Oh, this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason I thought you said next year.
No.
Maybe 2.
Okay.
Something tells me we're not going to see the Polaris yet.
4.
It's a big boy ship.
It's a big boy ship. IDD asks, can we agree on the 2.5 live trailer, as good as it is misleading, and CIG should have stuck to footage of the actual patch?
Yes, I agree.
For the 2.5 trailer, yes.
Yep.
What's misleading about it?
The whole thing.
Watch it. There is stuff from like the Idris in it or something, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
2.5
I
live
remember
now.
saying the same thing. It's a little weird.
It was sold as not sold, but it was shown as
it showed it like Kazu said. It showed AI and stuff.
Don't fall into that. Yeah, it showed a lot of AI. Don't fall into that No Man's Sky trap.
No. I actually thought it was more sort of like someone been asked to create a trailer for 2.5 or something showing off the latest stuff in Star Citizen.
Yeah.
And that's kind of got a bit confused. The trailer is great, and most of the stuff is in.
But the NPCs walking around and doing stuff and like there's some other stuff. I remember I was like, that's not 2.5. But we do only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions left, and then we're gonna call it here. So, BoredGamer, Celebear, I have a 1070 using Shadowplay 60 FPS at 1040, 40, or 1440 to grab video to share. Any encoding advice for best bang for buck for slow bandwidth upload? Any settings specific to getting good quality result from uploading Star Citizen footage to YouTube, or good resources that you have used?
Yeah, you'll have to message me afterwards though, because there'll be quite a list, and I'll need to compile it. So we'll talk about that like tomorrow or later this week.
Yeah, so send him a tweet on the Twitter, and he will message you back.
On the tweeters, yeah.
On the tweeters, and you can find that by typing in !BoredGamer in chat. Well, Bearded asks, speaking of kingships, what do you think of raid encounters will look like, if any?
What counters?
Raid encounters. So I think he's talking.
Oh, raid encounters.
Yeah.
So attacking a kingship, for example.
Would be a raid encounter, or having like knowing that the Vanduul are amassing their armies outside of a jump point and having them come in.
This is the gameplay that I want. I want to be in a raid against a kingship or something like that. Makes me feel, hurts my heart thinking about how much I want that. How unfit I am.
I think BoredGamer will calculate our percentage of winning, and it'll be like 29.3%. And then I'm going to go, you know what, guys? Fuck it. Leroy Jenkins.
Get this out for the kingship raids.
I'm no longer Twerk. I'm Trixie!
And then everyone's going to be like, God damn it, Twerk. We told you to wait.
At least I got my chicken strips.
See, that's weird.
That's what encounters will be like.
Yeah.
But that Leroy Jenkins, lots of people don't even know what that is anymore.
Yeah, that's.
But they know what Dicks Out from Harambe is. That's all.
Many whelps minus DKP. So much good content from that one raid. Duke Slayer.
Somebody just saw that video, but by the way, for the first time, like 2 weeks ago, from my job, and I was like, "You're just seeing this now? Where have you been?"
It's weird.
The Many Whelps one or the Leroy one?
The Leroy one.
Yeah, that's funny.
Where have you been? There's a card in Hearthstone for him.
Right? Duke Slayer asks, one thing I don't understand, for example, the Miles Ekhart mission. Imagine you're there sitting on the table with him receiving the mission. What? Okay, we're gonna skip this one because this is the one that's gonna get us into a big argument. But it's imagine you're sitting there on the table receiving the mission.
No, skip. I'm deleting it. I'm deleting it. It's gone. No, it's not gone. I can't.
I can. Captain Space Pants asks, can you explain some of the difference between the Hornet variations such as the F7A, F7C, the MK2? The F8 isn't a Hornet, but it's a Lightning. It's a different ship. Okay, so F7A is the military variant, right? So think of that as the actual full-blown fighter military ship. The F7C is the civilian variant, right? So think of a Hummer, like all civilianed out with a radio and stuff in it. Then you have your F7C-M, which is your Super Hornet, which is still a civilian ship. It's a 2-seater. It has a little bit more weapons on it, though, as well.
It's like civilian / military.
Yeah, it's sort of it's a training ship, I think, is sort of what it's based on. But the second co-pilot can use the turret. Then you have the F7C-R, which I believe is the Ghost.
The R is the tracker.
Is the R the tracker? Okay, so one's a tracker and one's a ghost. So one is for seeking things out and one's for hiding from things. Both, again, civilian variants. The MK2 is the redesign. So they just recently redesigned the Hornets because they need to do all the new systems and everything. Because they were like one of the first... I think they were the first ship in. So because they were one of the first ships in the game... They don't have the new damage states. They don't have the HUDs. They don't have all kinds, like all the different pipelines and everything, the item 2.0. So they needed to remake them, but they also decided to redesign them and update them a little bit because a lot of the other ships look really cool. And the amount of skill and stuff that they've brought in to CIG since then has increased quite a bit. And the amount of time that they spend on ships and everything. So they're going to update it.
The way they do
so
the damage,
the Mark II is... the newer updated version, but because we're all used to the Mark 1, they're going to keep the Mark 1 in as well, and you'll be able to select from what one of those you want. And then once again, the F8 is the F8 Lightning, which is a completely different ship entirely, which is a heavy fighter. The Hornet is a medium fighter. The F8 Lightning is a heavy fighter for the military only. So hopefully that clears it up for you. I don't know if you guys have anything to add to that.
The new F7A will only be in Squadron 42, and they might do something, I think, where like if you kick ass in Squadron 42, then you might get to use it in Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I thought I heard that somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know that you'll be able to get it. You won't be able to buy it, but you might. Yeah, who knows? Call me crazy. AES. How big will be the map? For example, the Reclaimer is made for scavenging and long distance travel. I was thinking like a decent large map that only ship could travel with big cargo, refuel, and so on. Okay, so
that
to give
question
you,
hurts my brain.
I know. So to give you an example right now, I think we're in the billions of kilometers as of right now, or is it millions?
No, hundreds, thousands of. I don't remember.
Hundreds of millions, maybe?
No, it's millions.
A lot.
Millions of kilometers.
Yeah, and this is only around one planet. And think there's 5 to 8 planets in a system, and then you have 100 different systems, and who knows how spread out they are. Like, the thing is with the map, as an overall thing, a lot of it is empty space, right? That's what space is. A lot of it is an empty space. But it's going to be large, and so having those big ships makes sense.
It's going to take you between 20 and 40 minutes to quantum travel in each sector from edge to edge.
From each system. So from
each system.
So
and
say
that's quantum travel.
Yeah.
That's not cruise.
Yeah.
It's far and big.
It is far. Celebear asks, mostly WTF. Sounds on planets, procedural, and locations include wind rustling, leaves, footsteps in mud or slipping on rocky ground, trees, sails pitches, creaking, machines churning, creatures, etc. We know we shouldn't have sound in space, but due to the rule of cool, we do. Their sound team is making awesomeness, and their composer is world class. Yeah, exclamation point Pedro. If you're not following him on Facebook, do so.
Indeed.
Or liking his Facebook page there. What do you think of the idea they're overwhelming or overdoing sounds planet-side to make the contrast to make space feel silent by comparison? I don't like that idea. Sort of like
why is this question only for WTF?
I don't know. Sort of
I'm not answering.
How a sailor feels unsteady on his legs, a spaceman is audibly overwhelmed planet-side. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, at the end of the day, it's gamification, right? And if they add some sort of feature where you can turn off sound in space, I'm all for it. And give her. I'll never use it. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but it's just a game choice. And that's what it is. And I don't think that it should be overwhelming when you come in on planets. And to be honest, it kind of is already. When you walk around ArcCorp, you know, it sounds like a city. It sounds like all that noise pollution and everything.
Yeah.
So that's sort of where I come from with that. I don't know if you guys have anything to add to that at all.
Sounds on Grimhex are awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think they can overdo sound. I think if there's anything they're doing really well already, it's the sound.
Yeah. I don't think they
awesome.
should go out of their way to make it sound bad for your first 5-10 minutes on the planet.
No.
Because there's sound in space. Do you believe we'll see an uneven balance between player professions, i.e. too many bounty hunters or pirates, or do you think the choices of professions will balance naturally? I don't know. Zarek41 asked this, by the way. But I do know that they are planning on having 90% NPCs. So even if every single player decided, fuck it, we're pirates now, it's only 10% of the entire population of the game.
Yeah.
So
nice and balanced.
It's balanced from the get-go. And if there's any issues, they can go in and change that. And our last question. Have you seen this yet? And I'm going to pull this up, and I don't know if you guys have this page open.
It's
from Xylo. And I'll show it here on screen. Oh, that's the wrong thing. That's the right thing.
Did you guys see Day 9 said really good things about Star Citizen?
Is that in the podcast?
No, he was just streaming Hearthstone, and he was like,
that's pretty
have
good.
You guys not seen this game?
There was Nerd Cubed on my podcast. They talked about it in regards to.
Basically, this all talks about the HUD.
Jim.
If one of you guys could grow, I don't want to read this right now because we are running out of time. But if one of you guys want to do me a favor and throw that link in chat, I haven't seen this yet, so I will talk about this.
Oh wow.
On my channel afterward, but I haven't seen that yet. So thank you for pointing that out to me.
It's pretty cool.
I'm looking forward to reading that. And yeah, that is that for this week of Redacted. I want to say, yeah, it was really fun.
I want to say, yep, it was fun.
It was fun. It's always fun. I enjoy it.
Dicks out for Redacted, guys. Dicks out for Redacted.
Oh, God.
Can we stop that?
Let's make it
all right.
a hashtag right now
Let's
on Twitter.
make one promise to each other.
Dicks out for
that
hashtags?
By next week, we will never say dicks out for anything again.
I can't.
Let's get it out of our systems today.
I can't commit
Dicks out
to that.
for dicks out, full promise.
I can't. Yeah. I can't.
All right.
I can't.
I can't fucking say it anymore.
You don't need to. You just need to listen to it.
I hate it so much.
Fucking can't stand it.
Yeah. So Twerk, where can people find you, and what are you up to this next week?
You can find me at twitch.tv/twerk17, at twerk17 gaming on Twitter and YouTube. Hopefully feeling better. Hopefully streaming a lot more Star Citizen. A lot of I haven't given out the giveaways from this week yet, so I apologize to everybody. It's just things have been really crazy. So yeah. So streaming, hopefully. That's what I hope this week. Streaming and enjoying life and being happy. So that's what I hope for this week. And yeah, you can find me there. And hopefully we hit that goal and hit 250 subs. Vote on vote on 2 new emotes to add in. We have a bunch of good emotes and better Twitch TV to put in there. And yeah. So
there you go. You can find him twerking at Trixie17.
And then I'm gonna have to cosplay as a grill gamer.
Cosplay.
Play Star Citizen.
We all know that's your alternative identity.
Yeah, I'm an Instagram model. Actually, you guys just don't know it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But what about you, Bored?
So, I am available on the YouTubes at BoredGamer UK and on the Twitters and all that social media stuff. So for the next week, I'm preparing for streaming. Literally watching Twerk stream like a hawk, like a vampire, steely hawk, stealing all his tips. And what else have I got? I've got to review that. I've got a 1060 graphics card over there. I've got to look at this monitor. I've got to do lots of random stuff for Star Citizen. I'm getting loads of random Star Citizen videos out about what we're expecting for CitizenCon, stuff for 2.6, loads of gameplay-based stuff now as well, because I've had so much fun in 2.5, and I want to go back and look at it. It isn't it?
I really like fighting at Grimhex, like a lot.
So do I. There's a lot of gameplay opportunity there because we don't have to spend 8 hours trying to get some footage. I can just couple of hours of great gameplay there, and I want to go back and have a look at Vandal Swarm again, and lots of different things. So I'll be doing that over the next week. Getting ready for streaming on Tuesday. What I have been doing is poking Patreons and lots of my viewers for ideas for videos because there's lots of stuff I want to do now, but
how about a Dicks Out stream?
Dicks Out for
Dicks Out video.
Dicks Out for BoredGamer Twitch.
So hashtag Dicks Out for Patreon, Dicks Out for me streaming, Dicks Out for YouTube. Yeah, thanks guys, appreciate it. But genuinely, everyone I met at I-58, you guys were legendary. All of my Patreons, you've been super supportive and allowed me to go to events like that, which is awesome. And I'm so excited about CitizenCon, just to watch what's going to happen there. But anyway, what about you, Saurus?
You can find me here, which is twitch.tv/WTFosaurus, and twitter.com/WTFosaurus, and of course on Redacted TV, .tv, which is our website for all the Redacted content creators. Tomorrow morning I leave for PAX South or PAX West. So I'll be there until Monday. So I won't be streaming, but I'm gonna bring my tablet with me. I'm gonna try and do basically what Twerk did, except for live stream it. So I'm going to try and live stream from the hotel. But right after this, I'm going to be streaming in like 5 minutes, and all these people are leaving because they said we're leaving, and I have a Saber LTI to give away. So, I mean, that's cool if they want to go.
Rip those guys.
It's terrible.
Dicks out for Saber giveaway.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to do that. I have also just received a shit ton of photos that all came in from us at the Vancouver Twitch event, and wow. So we'll take a look at those. I'm going to read that article that we just saw there, and we'll go over that.
It's really cool.
And yeah, so I'll see you guys back here in 5 minutes if you want to stick around. But yeah, that's it for us this week. I will be back in time next week. I should be back on Tuesday for my normal stream. If not, I will be back. I don't remember if I'm coming back on Monday or Tuesday. So I will be back for sure for the next week's podcast. So we'll be all good to go for that. Yeah, I think all of our podcasts we're going to be fine. So sweet. I will see you guys. I guess we will all see you next week. Thank you for coming by. We love doing these as much as you guys. I know we get messages. I get messages all the time and told in real life that how much you guys really enjoy these podcasts. And that means a lot to us. And we love doing it. That's why we do it.
More people came up to me and said, I love you on the podcast than they did about my stream. So thank you guys,
people listen to them in their cars, watching on YouTube, listen to them while they're working out or whatever. So, I mean, that's super awesome. But yeah, we will be live here in about 5 minutes. So just hold tight. Love you guys in the face. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Thanks for watching, guys. Love you. Bye.